Okay. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon. Welcome to Gendermaker, the first session of a run through of Pathfinder's Kingmaker module, with charity donations in support of gendered intelligence. My name is Alex, they them pronouns please, and I will be running this with this eclectic bunch of weirdos who have been given the task of unseating a brutal bandit lord in the area, with the reward given of being able to settle a barony in unclaimed territory, which is quite a rare thing, especially in Galarian, where we're set. So, while we have had a bit of a session zero to allow the party to have a little bit of get a little bit of chemistry with one another, get used to the characters, get used to the Pathfinder system. We're going to treat this as a kind of beginning, so that people who are new coming into chat, now that we've advertised things a little bit more, can get into it as everyone else does. On my screen, yeah, you're all around me, but that's probably different in the actual stream. But we have four of the party gathered together, heading over from the one of the free cities in Brevoy. Unfortunately, the Inquisitor of Erastil, who is with them, has decided that attempted assassination was not exactly on the list of goals for today, and has decided to part ways and return back to his home in Numeria. Which means that Johnny will be introduced later. I'm not ignoring him on purpose.
I mean, you totally are. But...
So, to begin, as you're trudging down the Rosslyn Road that leads towards a trading post owned by someone named Oleg Leviton, it seems like a good time for the rest of the party to introduce themselves as the camera pans to each one of them in turn. Starting off with Lucy.
Hi, I'm Lucy. She, her, out of character. I am playing Mara, the absolutely insane halfling alchemist. She is somewhere between a mad scientist and a dubious home cook. Either way, health and safety violations abound. Mara will answer to any pronoun as long as it's shouted in a vague tone of irritation.
My pronouns are "or you."
Yeah, very much so.
Secondly, Ed.
I remembered to unmute myself this time. I'm Ed. I use they them pronouns. Alina is a slightly over 6 foot woman who's human. Has long sort of dirty blonde hair. Wears somewhere between light and medium armor. Sort of like a brigandine chestplate and gloves which look more like armored in terms of protecting your fists when punching people rather than blocking a sword. On her back, she's got a recently painted large black shield. She is probably not enjoying travel. Just being a bit grumpy about it.
Heavy armor will do that to you, or heavier kit. And then Stuart, who is above me in my screen.
Hi, I'm Stuart. He, him. I'm playing Jin Thorgage. Also he, him. Jin is average height, average looks, ginger-haired, farm boy turned soldier. He's wearing a lot of what looks like standard issue of generic armies kit, quartermaster, armor, shield, helmet with lots of little engravings of spirals on it. He's probably got a cornstalk hanging out of his mouth, and he's just whistling to himself as he walks down the road. Fairly laid back, and he's the group's cleric.
Makes a nice change from wandering through Mendov. Okay, and then our boy Gore.
That was really unnerving because on my screen it was in the opposite direction. But that's fine. Hello, I'm James. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Gore, the party's lovable, very naive, and very much out of his depth half-orc barbarian, who, if you watched the preview game, go watch it. Otherwise, spoilers. He may have had to kill people, and he's not okay with this. And he's had a very, very quick shift of, oh, this is what adventuring is like. I assume we'd go out and we fight giant spiders and tie up bad guys and bring them to justice. And oh no, that person's punching that person to death. Ah, it'll be fun, guys.
I only punched like 2 people to death.
With a shield, Ed.
I just incinerated them.
And last but by no means least, we have Johnny, who will be introducing very, very shortly. He can enjoy being mysterious for a little while.
At least we have Johnny with the mystery box.
What's in the box? It could be anything. It could even be a hover.
Ooh.
Okay, so you've been on the road now for probably about 2 days at this stage, and thankfully the road ahead is nice and clear and well travelled. You can see the kind of indented grooves of like dozens of trade caravans that have moved through this place, with the forest up ahead starting to creep up on the horizon. Thankfully for you guys, though you are following a fairly obvious road, you do also have someone who's native to the area, Gore, who has a helpful map which you are hopefully seeing on screen, which has a lot of labels for places of interest that Gore knows about and places that Gore doesn't like going to.
The
So,
Radish Patch in particular is a place I do not ever want to go to again.
moon radishes are great, it is true. This is by no means an exhaustive map of the area. There are plenty of places hidden in the stolen lands. No one's been able to properly map this area, and people have tried to find out that landmarks tend to change around a lot, thanks to interference from various natural and magical forces. But as we're getting into about the afternoon, you start seeing the wooden walls of the trading posts. It looks like it was once it was probably a fort. There's kind of a wooden palisade wall going all the way around. You can see the tips of catapults poking out just beyond each of the corners of the place. So they look like they haven't been used in a very long time. And as you draw closer, you can hear the general soft sound of conversation, as well as a constant pink, pink, pink of someone taking a hammer to something. As we shall cross you over into Oleg's trading post. So let's see if I can find the description of the area as we find our way in. That's taken me to the bottom of the page, which is supremely unhelpful. So, as I said, this is a converted fort with provisions for both people and animals. There's a set of stables, what looks like a set of lodgings, and then a more standard-looking house built within, with various supplies scattered about all over the place. Peeking out from atop one of the rooftops is Oleg, who is a large, gruff-looking human who's approaching middle age, who is currently hammering in a tile into one of the panels of the roof. He looks up as the group approaches, and he gives you a kind of starts off as a 1,000-yard stare, and then he spots Gore, recognizes him, and gives him a wave as he begins to head his way down the ladder. At the bottom of the ladder is a dashing young gentleman who will now be introducing himself. Johnny.
Hello, out of character, I'm Johnny. I use he, him pronouns. In character, I am a tall, sort of wiry built half-elf in clothing that sort of kind of doesn't match but looks like it's been picked so it looks like it matches and doesn't match at the same time. Kind of like scruffy, stylish. Kind of sort of hair that looks like a lot of time was spent on it to make it look like I don't care how I look. With a dashing scarf, bandana type thing wrapped around the head, tucking the hair back a little bit. The hair is sort of somewhere between dirty blonde and sandy red. Sort of these sort of sea green, pale blue eyes, and the right ear of this half elf looks as though it's been torn off, cut off, or something like that. Old wound, fully healed, but like a definite sort of scar. A curved sword is sort of tucked into a scabbard on a sort of slung bandolier, along with like a load of pouches, like a pouched bandolier, scarf, fly plaid type sash slung as well. A few daggers, a couple of daggers, no sort of hidden. It's kind of surreptitiously placed here and there. Looks like one of those people that you wouldn't want to act like, would probably be not fun to fight. Looks like he probably doesn't fight fair.
Certainly the type of person who looks out of place, propping up the bottom of the ladder that Oleg is currently climbing down. Yep. Definitely more suited to a fight than the equivalent of a field hound. But as he's heading down, Oleg starts loudly saying, "Finally! You know what they say about help from Brevoy. It's always 6 days late and three men under."
Wow, an optimist. Usually it's much worse in both numbers.
Right, I'm only half a man under.
He sets himself down at the bottom of the ladder and he heads out to greet you. He throws his head back towards the house and shouts, "Sven, we've got company." And a few seconds later, a middle-aged woman with her hair tied back into a headscarf, who looks significantly warmer than her bristly husband, gives you all a very polite wave that then becomes a much more excitable wave as she also spots and recognizes Gore.
Gore will enthusiastically wave back.
"Oh, I didn't know we were having friends. Hello, Gore. How's your mum doing?"
She's fine. Can we stop talking about my mum, please? As he nervously sort of shifts in his spot, trying to look cool in front of all his new adventuring friends.
I want to hear all about Gore's mother. Please, do you have any baby friends?
Gore starts kind of blushing a little bit. Kind of, like, no, we don't. Hi. Can we? Gore just walks in.
It's just like pat Score on the shoulder, like, yeah, don't worry, I have that as well. It's fine. Uh, hmm. Like, unless anyone specifically stops her, Alina is just going to go and take a seat on the nearest bench.
That's totally what Jin's gonna do. Like, I mean, the first chance to sit down, he's gonna take a chance to sit down. So
Gore's going to have to go and do the obligatory "Hi, how are you?" give you a hug thing because he feels like he will get in trouble if he doesn't. And then he will sit down and he will he will just not be making eye contact with anyone for a good 5 minutes.
Or like dramatically leans against the wall of the lodgings with his arms folded, as Svetlana says, "Oh, we've just got some stew on the boil. I'll go and get some balls off for you."
Oh,
and
lovely.
heads inside. Oleg looks you all over and says, "So, they sent mercenaries then, not soldiers."
The soldiers are meant to be coming soon, I think.
possibly there was an issue when we were leaving.
Yeah, those gods have been a few days away for months now.
Yeah.
It was pretty awful. Like the person who hired us was nearly killed. It was pretty awful.
Not by us.
No, we didn't die. No, we didn't.
At the mention of that, like, Oleg's facade drops slightly, and he looks genuinely concerned for a moment and says, "Is she alright, the Sword Lord?"
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
She is absolutely fine, says Gore with a slight twitch.
But for some reason, they thought that only a single giant would beat her in a single combat. It didn't work out for them.
Or the giant.
That does sound like a... So, we've only got a couple of days at most until they arrive, so I've set up lodgings back there. You'll need to get yourselves ready as soon as possible. Yeah, he talks as though there's a prearranged thing that you were not privy to.
Jen's quite used to not understanding the whole situation because not from being lower rank, so he sort of half looks at Alina because he thinks Alina's a higher rank than him most of the time. So he's like, okay.
Okay, let's pull off the bandage. What else did we sign up for without being told?
There was this Dag Lord thing.
You mean they didn't send you here to deal with the bandit raids?
Is that? I
They
think so.
said bandits were in the area, but they didn't specify that the raids.
Just deal with this.
In fairness, we sort of got kicked out the door before we, could do much because assassins attacked. And they were like, "Oh, maybe you should get on." The usual. So there's bandit raids then.
Yeah, that sounds like them. Obviously, only the leader of the bandits is any threat to the nobles amongst them. Never mind about the trading posts along the way. All right, I'll fill you in as best I can. This little group has been bothering us for a good 3 months now. The type to roll in, demand a cut of whatever it is we're selling, with the implied threat of what happens if you don't pay up. first there were maybe a dozen of them. There was this lethal-looking woman leading them. But month on month, because there's only me and Svet here, we can't exactly hold our own against them. They started laying their guard down a little bit. They're only sending a few for their tax collections. Hardly much difference between them and the Bravoy ones, I'll be honest with you, but it's normally the first hour of sunrise, first day of the month. That's usually when they arrive. I'd guess there's maybe 4 of them these days.
Day of the month is it now?
Yeah.
It is 2 days before the end of for the start of the next month, as it turns out.
Convenient timing.
So, I mean, the guy at the head of this group of bandits he's a bit of an idiot, I'll be level with you, but these guys are killers.
I'm
So-
sure I've dealt with worse in my time.
Just out of curiosity, are they used to seeing more than you and your partner here, or?
There's travelers that come through every now and then. Usually not too many. But, hunters and such coming through is not uncommon.
And are your usual travelling guests of the adventure stabby variety?
Sometimes you get people coming through to try and map the area. They don't usually come back, though. It's usually the hunters who know the area well enough to not fall into the spider pit, he says, giving a knowing look over to Gore.
It was fine. Everyone survived. My friend had his leg chewed off, but he survived, and it's fine. Oh,
Did the spiders?
no, the spiders did not survive.
Yeah, there's a layer of a particularly nasty one, like just a little way southeast of here. We can't clear it out. The thing's the size of a pony.
Alex, I'm looking around the place. Is the main entrance like double gates, or is it like a barrier or something?
So it looks like it's a it's a large wooden gate with 2 doors that open inwards.
Okay.
Do the bandits come via horse?
Yeah, they normally do. They've got a camp somewhere south of here, but I don't know exactly where.
Horses are problematic.
I mean, horses in a small confined area aren't as problematic. In fact, they're more likely to be panicky.
I'm talking more about. I'd prefer if we dealt with them, none of them get away.
Well, I was going to suggest we let them in here and close the door behind them, and then don't let them out again.
Could always hobble the horses.
Caltrips.
I'm knee height.
Yes.
I'm good at kneecaps.
Also, yes, I can almost guarantee that if a fight starts out, the horses will panic. Looks at the designated arson halfling.
Dead horses cover, live horses panic.
I don't necessarily want a bloodbath inside my post. It's going to take a long time to clean up blood from the wood here.
So keep the hostilities outside.
Well, I'll leave the details to you people. Like, I've got a crossbow, but I'm no fighter. I don't know the best way to handle these sorts of things. I'll just say, I appreciate you types don't work for free. So, when this group of bandits is dealt with, you can take anything you want off them. I'll take the rest as stock.
So maybe not completely hobble horses, because they're probably worth something.
I don't like horses. They're too big.
Not gonna lie, some of them are gonna be on fire.
With
I do
Mara,
like
but
fire.
yes.
So you guys are going to face this stag lord fellow.
Yeah,
Apparently.
that was the idea.
I mean, keep the horses alive, and that might make your journey a little bit quicker, a little bit easier.
I mean, we don't really know where they are.
These bandits might.
There's also that possibility.
If you're after the Stag Lord, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people have no idea where this guy is. Most don't even know what he looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, they sent us to get his head, and they don't know what he looks like, so that could be interesting.
I mean,
I'm assuming it's going to be the guy with the antler motif all over. I could be wrong.
from what I've heard, he's big, kind of like a wall of muscle, pretty much, and scars.
Gore, are you the Stag Lord? Just checking.
I mean, I've heard the name. That's about as much as I know.
So it's not actually you. Just so we're clear, you're not going to.
I am not a devious bandit lord. No.
Exactly.
I mean, that's
what
what
a
devious
bandit Lord would say.
Sense motive on that.
And as far as I know, neither is my mother or my father. But
You are, however, a designated measuring stick of tall people.
I mean, thank you, I guess. Sure. I just wanted to, can we capture these bandits? Do we have to kill them?
I mean, we can let them in and give them the choice of whether they want to leave in one piece or several.
Having somebody capable of talking and giving us information is very, very useful.
That's what I'm thinking, because we need to know if we
only for that you only really need a torso and a head.
Oh no.
Again, I mean, that's it. That's trying to cut off multiple limbs in combat. It's just not worth it.
No, I'm talking about once things have calmed down and we've got a captive.
Oh no.
Okay, right. That's much darker than I thought we were talking about.
I mean, so if we ambush these 4 bandits who are going to come and try and raid here, because I don't want them getting here, because I like these people. Then we to talk and tell them where the camp is, and we can go attack that camp and tie them up. Then we can interrogate them, tell them where the stag lord is, or another camp, and then we'll just keep on going until we find what we need. Look,
The problem is, we don't really want to leave behind a trail of still fully combat capable, extremely pissed off individuals who know what we look like and what we can do.
I'm really good at tying people up.
If you tie them up for long enough,
it's not a pretty knot,
they'll
but it's a
die.
strong knot.
If you leave them tied up for long enough, they will still die. And if you don't leave them tied up for long enough, we have the same problem.
Oh no.
Look, we can keep people in the stables long enough for whenever the actual soldiers from Bevoy decide to turn up.
I mean,
That works.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but when they turn up, they will execute bandits.
But that's their job, I think. No, that's brutality. That's not allowed. They need to be tried in the court of law. Oh no.
I mean, we could just give
here's
the
the
choice to the
thing.
bandits.
Here's the thing that any judge would go, okay, what is the proof that this person is a bandit? Oh, they literally raided a trading post. Well, I guess they're a bandit then. And execute. It would be a very quick thing, is what I'm saying.
I'll live with you. You know, down south it's more about the river freedoms, but
walk any road, and these people are stopping people walking roads.
But this post is technically Bramley.
Okay.
Those guys will probably get hanged.
Okay.
Justice by sword or rope?
Gore looks uncomfortable, but he looks much more like he's on board with time. Let's just get rid of the bandits. After we interrogate at least one of them.
I mean, if if they're very cooperative, I don't see a reason why we can't maybe put them in our employ in some way.
We're a bit broke.
No offense, Gore, but anyone else who knows the local area would also be quite helpful.
It's true. Very true.
That's the one who's never fallen in a spider pot.
Look, I got out of it all right. I can't stress this enough. It was horrendous, but we got out.
And you
Gore
remember where it is,
personally is
right?
fine.
Well, that particular spider nest is now empty. I say absolutely made sure of that. I don't really remember much what happened. I remember Cocoon, sudden attaching spider web on my friend, and then I blacked out, and then I woke up with all my friends kind of alive and me covered in spider blood. So I guess they're okay, and I guess I got rid of them all. It was a weird day.
Sadly, the trapdoor's still alive, Gore.
Oh no.
Yeah. There's a group of settlers who came in, 6 months ago.
Didn't they read the sign? We put a sign out there everywhere. Mum told me I'd go put a sign back out to warn travellers of spiders.
Yeah, by the time they saw the webbing, it was too late for them.
Oh no.
But-
I'll have that spider on the list of things to deal with.
Like, Gore's got a map. It's marked. You'll know not to go there. But look, I've got a decent stock of things. Weapons, a couple of potions from Bokken, things like that. Take a look around. If anything looks like it might be useful, let me know. You've got free reign of the post, and you've got a day of planning. They're probably going to come probably tomorrow morning. If you want, I can wake you up before dawn just to make sure you're all ready.
Might be useful.
Okay.
So here is my pitch on how we approach this. We have some of us hidden nearby, and I will happily go and talk to them about their decisions in life and how they should maybe change their ways. And then when that probably fails, then we switch to absolute violence.
How about we put Mara on a rooftop and she can just throw things from a height?
I was thinking that for Mara, yes.
Yeah, sounds good to me, boss.
If it's okay with everyone, if someone wants to come with me, I'd like to take a quick look at the road south to see if there's anywhere useful for setting up ambushes, just in case we want to do it outside of the walls. Just in case there's anywhere useful. I can't remember there being any, but it's worth noting.
Second pair of eyes could also see something that you've never noticed yourself.
Absolutely. I am quite oblivious to things. See the trapdoor spider for more details.
Bear in mind, they're going to be expecting ambushes on the road. They might not be expecting ambushes when they get to their location.
Maybe.
They are going to be on horseback, Gore. If you spook them, they'll run.
If we fight them here, we'll make a mess.
Messes can be cleaned up.
It's
I
very
mean-
rude to make a mess in other people's kitchens or houses.
I'm not saying
Sorry.
we fight them in here. Like, I can start the talk outside where it's grass, and grass is quite easy to clean.
It's just, I'm sure you all can handle yourselves in a fight, but this gang, there are like at least 10 of them in total. You don't want all of them to know where you are at once.
That's my thought. Yeah.
Like, don't butcher them, but if a bit of blood gets spilled on the sawdust here, that's not the end of the world.
Pick the hamstrings, got it.
Why? Gore, sometimes I feel like we're a little bit out of place.
You need better friends, Gore.
Gore looks at the shield wielding maniac. has a flashback of them beating someone to death with a shield. It's going, yes, definitely, we are out of place.
I'll have you know, I didn't beat anyone to death with a shield. I did break someone's neck by throwing a shield, but I didn't beat them to death with it. That's a very specific skill I don't have yet.
Mara is just going to sort of scoot up a little bit and confess very quietly. Most of the stab happiness is a cover, but don't tell anyone else that. And I kind of scoot back again.
Oh, are we all just slowly going down darker paths to try and like one up each other? This feels bad.
Mara's just trying to fit in.
Gore will suddenly shout out, "Is the stew ready yet?" as an attempt to try and change the conversation topic. It's really good stew. I recommend everyone have some.
Spec
you guys
comes
are
out
hilarious.
balancing a series of bowls quite masterfully across both of her arms, and begins to basically place a bowl of quite good if gamey looking stew in front of each of you.
Jin immediately starts to demolish it.
Cute.
So the half elf takes his bowl, gives Svetlana a cheeky wink, and then starts sort of eating it.
Nom, 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 nom.
Thank you. Nom, nom.
Happy numbing noises.
Happy numbing noises.
It tastes like it was probably some kind of animal like a fox or something along those lines. It's quite a stringy meat, but it's definitely warm and filling. Svet also then says, "Oh, the letter from Bevoy," and Ollie kind of jolts as he remembers and goes, "Oh yes, yeah. The Sword Lords sent word out about a day before you got here. Said you could have your pick of the armory as a reward for whatever it is you did."
Oh.
Can't say I've got anything too exciting, but I've got some pretty well crafted weapons here. So what Brevoy have sent me will pay for one of them. As I said, take a look around. There's probably stuff that's useful that I haven't thought of. Just let me know what you're planning, and we'll go along with it.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. This group hasn't really worked together with like a plan before. It's a new novel experience.
No, we didn't really get time to form a plan last time, to be fair.
Thinking the
Survive.
might not use
There
your
was that
weapons
bit
might
where
be.
we all kind of like position ourselves in a corridor waiting for the baddies to jump through the door. That was kind of a plan. Kind of a plan.
Find the stab
Yeah, but
behind the people.
we did also repeatedly walk into ambushes, so
That is true.
May I introduce to you the 7 Ps?
Prior
Prior
planning and
planning.
preparation prevent piss poor performance.
I like you.
You taught me that one.
I prefer the old adage from my mentor. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
That is also fair. There's a thing of have a good plan in place. Have contingencies as well. Like,
Oh no, Gore suddenly realizes I'm the contingency.
Yes, Gore, you are.
I mean, obviously, like, I have no idea who you people are, but you all see, I mean, you took on
You
some
want a job?
assassins. You've taken on some assassins and stopped them. I mean, what is it you guys do? I've heard the big guy talking about pummeling somebody with a shield. I mean, and little lass, she's talking about explosions.
I
This
make
all
things
sounds
consume.
hilarious. But
Oh, I'm just a healer. Don't look at me. I don't do much else.
It's
okay,
really useful though.
that's incredibly useful.
I'm pretty good at hitting people, as it turns out. Originally, I thought I was just really good at hitting spiders, but it turns out I'm really good at hitting people too.
Looking at the size of
And
you,
furniture.
I find that entirely surprising.
It's quite-
Now, Igor, you also took down some furniture as well.
It's true, I am a bane to doors everywhere.
I don't think Doorbane is the correct sort of moniker you want to go by. But yeah,
There's time for that. to build up some sort of mystique, I guess.
in general, what happens is fixes us. Gore is the backup plan. I guess I'm technically the primary plan, and explosions occur.
There was that one thing when we all drank a potion and we could all breathe fire, including
That was fun.
the moose, and that was really weird.
I'm not entirely convinced that wasn't a fever dream.
Oh no, I can do it again.
This sounds amazing. I am excited. I'm coming with you guys.
You're more than welcome. Mara is a delight.
The problem.
Mara is a delight.
Mara is a delight. That's the phrase.
Well, my name's Corey Altalvi. Who are
Hi.
you all?
Hi, I'm Jin.
Jim?
I'm Gore.
I think the big guy's Gore.
I'm Gore. Hello.
I'm Alina.
Alina.
Black Shield. Black Shield. Need to remember that.
Black Shield. Okay.
Ooh, dark and edgy, Alina.
I'm Mara.
I
She's a
gathered
delight.
that. I think you and I are going to get along fabulously.
Not gonna lie, part of me just got very concerned. Gordon, did you have the exact same experience?
Mara is a delight. I don't know what you're talking about, Alina.
So, the key to a good and successful fight is to have plenty of distractions. Explosions make excellent distractions.
Yeah.
All else fails, throw sand in their face. It's brilliant.
This entire training post is made out of wood.
No.
I'm just going to set that out early. Please do not set my
Yeah.
house on fire.
Okay. Try and
Yeah,
avoid
that's
the
probably going to
explosion.
be a problem.
How?
Where's the nearest water source, out of curiosity?
Yeah, we've got a well in the back.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say maybe wake me up like an hour before everyone else so that I can just wet down some things just in case. Just
Maybe it'll rain tomorrow.
be nice.
Where are your supplies? I would like to go take a look at that. Or again, try the cheap conversation.
So storeroom's just there. He says, pointing at building marked A4. Just behind that, we've got some crates as well. Sven, would you mind just checking and seeing if there's anything important in those? As Svetlana heads over that way, Oleg drops his voice a little bit and says, "There's something else, if you don't mind. There's a personal favour. One of the times the Banner Group came here, they took my wife's wedding ring.
No.
Yeah. Now, Svet's going to say it's not a big loss, but you know how it is when you lose something like that.
Just you point out who took it if they come back. Okay.
So there's a woman named Cressel. She's the leader of that particular group. She's the one who took it. Probably not going to be at the post, but it's just, you know, if you happen to find it, I'll set aside 1,000 gold in credit for you.
Don't worry. I understand. My other half would probably kill me if that happened. So yeah,
Wait, you're married?
not technically engaged.
Oh,
Ring,
Yeah.
is it particularly like ostentatious? Is it simple?
It's gold and silver woven together. You'll spot it pretty quick. Don't risk life and limb for it. It's not that important.
I'm
It's
just
just
saying, like something like that. Somebody steals something like that, they're going to keep it on them because they're going to want to show it off that they've got this thing. So it is quite likely this woman's going to have it on her person.
yeah.
Yeah.
They may have sold it on already, but just if you come across it, I'd appreciate it coming back.
Okay.
With or without fingers.
I think preferably without.
Gotcha.
so
Just glad
Thorin,
that you're on our side. Yeah. Look, Storm's over that way. He gestures over.
Right. Well, let's. Leah just walks up to his storeroom and is like, "Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. Oh no."
Gore will first step into the bunk room, place his pack on a bed, and then he will go to the storeroom.
The bed creaks definitely.
Okay, so anyone who's having a look through, please make perception checks.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
I'm allegedly okay at these.
I will say you can't fail to notice stuff. It's not that kind of check.
challenge accepted. Considering I couldn't find perception for a second there.
My character can't fail to notice things. I, however.
I can't read my sheet.
Oh boy.
Oh wow, that's a good roll for me.
So the storeroom is a you can tell this trading post is primarily built around hunting, because there's a mixture of there's a series of weapons hanging over one of the walls. So there's mostly things like long spears and bows are the two main weapons that you see. But there is also a big axe leaning against the wall, a couple of crossbows, and knives, just like those kind of like tool-based weapons, you could say. As you're looking through, Jin, you spot there's a large clay pot that everyone else seems to glance over, but you catch the whiff of oil coming from it, which you know from experience is very flammable.
I subconsciously sort of steer Mara slightly away from it. Yeah, I'll make a mental note and sort of whisper to Alina about it in a second.
And Mara, hidden underneath a canvas sheet, you spot a series of unarmed bear traps.
These look fun.
They are about the size of your entire upper body, I would say.
Yeah. I'm probably going to point these out to someone who can actually lift them. Out of interest, is there anything in this warehouse like dried herbs, mushrooms, and so on that looks vaguely poisonous?
There's certainly herbs and things like that hanging up. Give me a knowledge nature check to see exactly what you find. While you're looking through, you do also see there's a series of bottles of various liquids. Most of them are that kind of bright red that you they associate with healing potions. But there's also there's one larger round bottle with a label on it with a small drawing of a fire on it.
I really don't think he does. But I cannot roll to show today.
So having a look through, you're reasonably certain that these are food herbs and things like that. It's not common for hunters in this area to use poison, specifically because meat is one of the main things that they trade. But yes,
I know round bottle does.
and then basically anything you would expect to find in like a hunting trading post are also things that you would find like around the storeroom.
Hmm.
Do I have any idea as to exactly what the stuff in this bottle does?
Sorry, say that again. You cut out right at the end.
Do I know what the stuff in the bottle does?
Yes. So even at a quick glance with an alchemist's eye, you can see that the two red bottles are definitely healing potions, although they seem to be formulated in a way that you're not entirely familiar with. It looks like a recipe, like basically a recipe that you wouldn't use, but results in a healing potion.
Mm-hmm.
And the round bottle is definitely alchemist's fire. So it's basically a bottle that's designed to break on impact, and then ignite.
I would like to pick up the bottle of alchemist fire, sort of wander over happily to Oleg and be like, "Can I have this one?"
Looks very cautiously at you.
I'm
Then-
very good.
Let's just see, where are you?
I promise not to throw it inside.
In fairness, she is very accurate.
Yeah, it's 20 gold for a flask, but you know I'll count it against the whatever you find on the bandit, so you don't need to pay me right now.
Okay.
Yeah, are any
I
potions healing potions, Mara?
Yeah, those two.
Oh, amazing.
I thought those might be a good idea for the people who can't already do that to carry.
No,
Because
that's
you can
fine.
do that
Just
to
as long
lots,
as
and I
we
can
know.
do that to little.
As long as we know they're here.
Yeah, if you're planning on using that, so the floor here he gestures down, and it's kind of sawdust covering.
I know, not indoors.
Yeah, just don't hit the buildings, but the ground will be fine. You might need something to help it go though.
Yeah, we'll find something. It's fine. So, should we find something extremely flammable to go with that? Maybe we put that outside the fort.
Yeah, my thought would be if we could like get a line of something flammable outside the sort of main door when they come in. If we can hide it well enough, we can set fire to it, and the horses won't want to leave.
Well,
Of
we
course, we'll
found
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we put a line of of oil down here on the sawdust, especially if we kick some of the sawdust out. That should stay alight pretty well for a while and reasonably contained if we can do it right. You could even potentially do it inside and sort of make like a little area inside where it is, but that would require manoeuvring all the horses inside first before setting it alight.
Yeah, I think just trying to get them on their horses at about the gate is probably the most optimistic placement for them.
Mhm.
Maybe some of those bear traps down some of these little alleyways to deter them trying to take cover in the alleys as well.
Honestly, I'm not actually that scared of someone hiding in an alley from me.
True.
Like-
It gives you lots of things to bounce off of, I suppose.
I would be more concerned about people on horsebacks charging at some of our less armored members of the group. So what we could do is if we get them into the middle here, get them into the middle here, set the fire up, and then people who don't necessarily want to get into the fight can be sort of behind the tables. We can put some bear traps down to protect them, and then the rest of us can do what we do.
I mean, I would say that Mitu, is the palisade, does it have place for you to like stand on it? Or is that
It does, yes. You can see a couple of ladders that lead up to a balcony. Some of them don't look like they've been especially well maintained, with there only being two people here. But it's definitely sturdy enough to, take someone's weight.
I mean, I would think if we had Mara hiding somewhere around near the gate, because then they could set off the fire and like keep well hidden. And honestly, if we're a big enough distraction, I don't think they'll go for her.
I mean, I'm happy to go up onto the palisade as well, because if I get dropped early on in difficulties, if they do well, I will just take the ladders up with us and then drop the ladders back down at the end of it.
Yeah. So if we have you either side of the gate, maybe.
Yeah, sounds good.
Then I guess Oleg and Svetlana could take cover somewhere in one of the buildings. Which leaves me, Gore, and our new friend.
Maybe hide
Who
Gore under a tarp until we need him.
I make quite
in a building.
I was going to say, but Gore points at the stables, the bunkhouse, and the actual trading post. I think, given the size of the doors, probably hiding in the stables is probably the best place for at least two people, and then maybe one person in the bunk room.
I was going to say, Coriel, if you're coming with us, if you don't mind, how do you fight?
Mostly swords.
Okay.
I like to be mobile.
In which case, if we have you in one room, Gore in the other, and I'll just be the big distraction.
Do we have a go word?
Fuck.
So what's the plan? So we have the go word. Mara throws a flask of fire and sets the fire to the oil thing, and then the fire will be the sort of the kick point for us to jump out of the buildings and ask them very nicely to surrender.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, Mara, I've got a big jar of oil here. Do you want to? Two of us will figure out where to set it up for your best accuracy.
Okay.
Yeah. So, can I lift the jar of oil? Or is it too heavy for me?
Yeah, it's about half full. It feels like it's a lantern oil, so designed to burn but not like explode is the operative word. But it's you could probably carry it yourself.
Sure.
What's
I'll
on the
carry it
ground?
over to the doorway then.
Once it's on the ground, how long will it last on the ground for before we have to ignite it?
It's probably in the region of like once it's like out on the ground, it will probably last for a few hours before it evaporates.
If we mix it with like straw or something, will it last longer?
The advantage of just being oil though is becomes fairly transparent, right? If we start mixing it with sawdust and stuff, it might be all right depending on how much like stuff's outside the fort.
I mean, if we mix it with stuff like sawdust and wood chippings, like putting that outside the fort where you get a lot of turned up mud,
Yeah.
it's a way of making sure the ground's stable enough to walk on.
Yeah, if it's soaked in, you could probably reliably keep it overnight.
Cool.
The other option is we soak a rope in it, and then we can lie the rope down just after they walk in.
Honestly, I think either just going straight up with the oil or with like sawdust and oil works probably the best.
Sure.
Mum always
Um,
says simple plans are best plans.
It's true.
She was a very sweet teacher.
So, Mithu, do you want us to make some sort of roll to see if we can prep that so it'll last overnight?
I think with the prep work that you're putting in, I'm quite happy for you to basically just set up things as you want. So because things like the oil, it's just a case of mixing stuff together. The bear traps are specifically designed to be able to be easily armed.
Okay. I'll draw a rough line there. Oh, okay, somebody else draw a line.
Oh no, like I was.
Are we doing it outside the post or inside the?
Inside is probably more cover in terms of like it works better, I think.
I'll take a few buckets of water up with me as well and onto the palisades.
We should definitely store like as many buckets of water as possible in this building, just so we have them.
Yeah.
While you've been having this conversation about logistics, Oleg has been like very conspicuously like taking out buckets of water and putting them on the table over here.
Oh, sand, buckets of sand as well, Oleg, or like just dirt that we can throw onto the fire. Sometimes the water just spreads it.
Oil fire.
Yeah, I really wouldn't put water on the oil.
That ends badly.
So water for any fire, anything where the fire spreads to something else. We need.
Should we color code the buckets or?
You know what? I'm just going to assume that between us we are sensible enough to have fire removing materials.
Yes.
Do I have any mechanism of actually lighting bikes? I'd rather not spend a whole bomb on it.
Didn't you pick
I
up?
can only make so many a day.
Didn't you pick up some alchemist fire? Or did I not know about? I can't remember.
Oh no, Mara definitely proclaimed her new find legally here.
So you could do that, or maybe if you get close to it, you could use. If you hide behind a corner, you could use a tinderbox.
There's a campfire over there. We could just like have a couple of sticks with fire on them. I'm sure there's like torches and stuff lying around as well.
Lit lantern. Open it.
I have a
Pour.
lantern.
Last resort, flint and tinder, or if anybody's got some sort of lens or reflective surface they can try and use to catch light on and focus that.
If other mechanisms fail, I will just make it go boom. It's more a case of making it go boom in a more resource efficient manner.
Should we perhaps move this wagon like out of the area? Maybe use it like block it like. How do I ping them up again?
I mean, if we put it
Yeah,
there,
that's exactly what I'm
alley.
thinking.
Yeah.
Sounds sensible.
Keeps it out of the way, but also blocks off a potential something that could give them as much of a tactical advantage against us as it does us against them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, given that's actually on the map, I'm going to do some expert level painting to.
Oh.
Vanished.
It moved.
What magic is this?
My immersion is so key right now.
Bang! And the wagon's gone.
I'm so good at this, you guys.
I would also have accepted you writing "not here" on it.
Oh, that's advanced level art. I'm not good enough for that yet.
I'm fairly sure Roll20 has some free tokens
It is
where you can.
visible.
Well,
Oh, now he's visible again.
No.
so I made a wagon out of a table and some horses.
Now I'm invisible.
That will do. So so you have free reign over basically the afternoon, the evening, and into the night. So any preparations that you want to make, you can just put them on the map, and it will be assumed that you will have done this at some point.
Okay.
And then, as arranged, Oleg will wake you up about an hour before the group are due to arrive, so that you have time to put yourself in position.
All right, where do we want the bear traps going? I was going to suggest here and here.
Yeah. How many do we have? How many bear traps do we have? Just so we know. Have I muted myself?
I would say probably about 6
Okay.
in total.
Maybe. Yeah.
So one there is probably a good idea.
Like I'd put one there, and then I'd actually say double up on them, just so that it, like, one is a deterrent, two is you're never going there.
And then Gore will spend a reasonable amount of time trying to cover them and make them reasonably well hidden, but not impede the lever action.
Yeah. Maybe put out the fire before they arrive in the morning as well. So just.
And then Gore will hide himself inside the stable here.
Mara will hide here, ready to light the rope and then immediately make a scatter.
You might do better hiding behind the wagon.
That's too far away to light the rope.
Okay, I'll go to the other side, just to run either side of that then. Can we also take up this ladder so make sure nobody?
I was going to say, if there's a spare ladder, we could just move it so Mara can just immediately start climbing.
There is a ladder next to the wagon.
Yeah.
Yes, the ladders leading up to the barricades looks like they're fixed in place, but there is a ladder that Oleg has been using, leaned up against the bunkhouse that could be moved around.
Would it be something if we got like sheets of cloth and wrapped them around the ladders so they were much harder to climb?
Yeah, that's certainly doable.
Yeah, somebody does that after me and Martha get up. It's Mara.
But then we've got the movable ladder,
which I would hide until afterwards.
I mean,
If
just like Mara can
you
keep.
get you guys up with that, and then if you take it up with you
Oh yeah.
and lay it flat, so you've got access to it.
Okay.
Oleg, for his siding preparations, is he's basically like piling up boxes of stock in a kind of mechanical sort of way, piling them up just outside the storeroom.
Okay.
So you'll start just about there. Okay, so well, have everyone everyone sets themselves over in position, we'll time skip forward to the first hour of dawn.
Mhm.
So make sure you're all where you want to be when they arrive.
Alina is specifically sitting down with a bowl of cold stew. And spread like.
As they come up to the door, I would drink my mutagen.
So I'll be inside the storehouse.
I'll be crouched down behind the palisade up here, just so I'm a bit less visible.
Okay. So Mara, are you up on the battlements or below them?
So at the moment, I'm sort of hiding below them, ready to light the rope. And then the second it's lit, I am dashing for that ladder.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense. So Mara and Jin, can you make a stealth check for me, please?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Oh no.
It's like
Oh, I
I am
didn't.
so stealthy right now, whilst like in absolute no cover at all.
I'm invisible.
Okay, so Coriel and Gore are hidden by terrain, so you don't have to worry about checks. Alina, are you where you want to be?
Yep. Nah.
Okay, an important question: are the gates open?
Yes.
Wait, does Oleg usually keep them open?
Generally, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to make it look as normal as possible.
Okay,
With the exception of just sticking up a little bit past the back.
so as the sun begins to rise, Jin's looking over the battlements when he catches sight of the group heading forward. Three of them on horseback, and a kind of shifty-looking grunt sort of person wearing a hood on foot behind them.
Can anybody in the fort see Jin?
Mara might be able to.
So I'm sort of just frantically jumping like,
Jin's trying to like make army signals to how many people are coming, and
Just get them on the right layer. There we go. So you dive back down, Jin, but you're pretty sure they clocked you as they rode up. So as they start to ride in, this group of men like they look like they're on guard as they kind of slowly walk into the post.
Alina's just like, "Hi, friends."
The man in the hood
I'm
looks over. The man in the hood looks over at Oleg and says, "Leviton, you've hired security." I mean, I thought we had a nice arrangement going where, we provide protection for you. What changed exactly?
Oh, I'm here as a negotiator. You
Step
see,
forwards here. And the man in the hood
yeah,
swaggers up to the front.
I've come to persuade you to change all your ways and turn from this life of villainy.
Uh-huh.
Why does no one ever just say yes? I don't. Anyway, look, I'm fine with what you are doing outside of Bravoy, but technically this fort falls under Bravoy's jurisdiction, and therefore I'm going to have to ask you to stop. Very politely.
Well, you see, what we've got here is a bit of a border dispute. Because you see, the people that I work for are very convinced that this falls under their jurisdiction. So we find ourselves at a bit of an impasse here, wouldn't you say?
I mean, is there a way we could come to some kind of understanding? I'm gonna try this initially,
Well, there's a very simple way that this happens, is that me and my friends load up what is owed to us, we pack on our horses, and we go our separate ways.
No one ever takes the easy route. I mean, for fuck's sake, like, I said the keyword, guys. I said it.
I light the rope and then immediately make a run for the ladder.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump out of the storehouse and throw a dagger at the lead guy.
Just came to win.
Okay, so as these fine folks are very much on guard and expecting trouble, you unfortunately do not get a surprise round, but we will start initiative.
Where's the magic button? Where's the magic button? Aha!
Has mine come up on the screen?
It has not.
No.
No. Did
Select
you
your
select
token
your
and then
token
roll it.
before rolling? Because that's the usual issue.
Yeah. No.
That guy, and then
Oh, that's worse than my unaccepted roll.
I also do have to ask, why are the guards sitting on their horses backwards?
Style.
That's how the cool kids are doing it these days.
Some people wear their caps backwards.
Some people wear their cap backwards. I ride my horse backwards.
I say it's like sitting on a chair, like when you turn a chair around to sit on it, but it's a horse. So,
Oh no.
I didn't choose the Stag Lord life.
Mara, take one of the rerolls.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Alex, can I take one of our banked rerolls, please?
absolutely can.
Yay.
Let's try to not be shit this time. If I roll another one,
Just roll high. That's all you have to do is roll high.
Just have faith. Part of a dice. Faith of the random laser number generator.
All praise RNG.
Where's RNG?
so I'm having quite significant lag issues at the moment.
Let's get. Yeah, okay.
So,
Okay, so they are not surprised, but you do get to act first, starting with Jin.
Jim will fire his. Sorry, I have to move first, don't I? I will move to here and fire a crossbow bolt at the dude on foot to try and keep his attention in multiple places. So.
Okie dokie.
Does a 20 hit?
It does, yes. That does hit him.
And does 2 piercing damage.
He catches the shot as it kind of glances past his armor, and he swears.
Oh no, they've got their own code words.
Moving on to Gore.
Okay. I'm not sure how this interacts in Pathfinder, but I'll tell you what I'd like to do, Mitsu, and then you tell me if it's going to work or not.
Okay.
I would like to enter a rage, charge at the horse on the left here, and shoulder barge it so hard I knock it off its feet into the horse next to it and cascade them like dominoes. The horses are all kind of not prone, but you know.
I think that's a bull rush maneuver.
I also think there's not actually a door there.
Yeah, but my plan is if I
Just
go
go through the wall.
this way, there is a horse followed by a horse followed by a horse followed by a wall, and horses don't particularly like being shoulder charged.
No, I meant more in terms of you're currently inside the stable. There
So
is
the
a
door
wall
is not a
between you and the
problem.
wall.
The door is not an issue.
So the good news is you can absolutely rush up towards the horse and try and you can so bull rush would push it. So you basically like shunt it into one of the other horses, or you can try and trip it to knock it prone. That's the good news. The bad news is that does provoke an attack of opportunity.
Oh no. I would like to bull rush the horses.
Amusingly, it does say that you can continue to bull rush multiple things. It's just you take incredibly high penalties when you do so.
Go. Let's go for it. So Gore will run out, rage, and will bull rush sideways.
Okay. So the bandit there will take a swing at you with his short sword.
Cool, I am raging, so I'm down to my flat for today, see?
Does a 12 hit you?
No.
The horse, unsurprisingly, will not try and hit you back because it's not a war horse.
Alright, what am I rolling?
So
There is a part of your sheet called CMB.
Yes. Combat maneuver bonus.
Yep.
Cool. So that's going to get a miscellaneous +2 to it because I'm raging. Cool. I will click the button.
okay, got their CMD.
An 18.
So you do hit. Basically, what we have to do is, in order to push it into something else, you have to then make another bull rush to try and push it. Basically, you have to bull rush for each creature in the way to push them all. Otherwise, they won't move.
Okay, so next one. Let's roll high. Okay. Horse number 3.
Oh.
Ooh, can I use the bank reroll?
You certainly can.
Thank you.
I'm not sure where you're trying to push them, because currently it looks like you're trying to push them away into the fire.
I'm trying to push them sideways into the wall to try and knock them prone. Or
Basically into A2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure there's the roll to try and keep on a horse. I'm just going to check and see.
It will be a ride roll of some description, because that's a skill.
There's bound to be a chapter in the event you're bull rushed while on a horse.
What happens when a barbarian does a thing?
Just in case
No,
absolute mad lads try this.
like, I would not put it past Pathfinder for that to be in the core rulebook. If you are bull rushed on a horse, you must make this DC ride check.
The opposed bull rush on a horse check.
So I will check and see if that happens. But each of the bandits will make a check to try and keep on their saddle. Stay in saddle. Downside is the DC of this is very, very low. But I will impose a penalty on them because they are being shunted rather than just hit normally. So it's okay. So the first bandit manages to stay on, but the other one is flung off.
This one?
The third horse, basically the momentum of your bull rush kind of stops by the time it gets to the second horse.
Oh,
But he does get thrown off the horse and knocked prone.
that's fun. Cool. Yeah, that's my turn.
The horse, now that it doesn't have a rider, is like starts to panic.
Yes, panicked horse. Destroy your friends as we set fire behind you.
Which makes it perfect timing for Mara.
trample forward over your friends.
Hello, I would like to set the thing on fire and then run for it.
Okay, let me know how you're planning to do that.
God, what were options in? I don't think I would have taken a torch because that would have made me super obvious. Where else?
You said you had a lantern. Does it have like one of those little covers over it to stop people seeing the flame inside it?
It's a miner's lantern, so I'd assume so. I don't know. Let me double check. It doesn't explicitly say so, so I guess not. Okay, question. If I lob Alchemist's fire at this horse, would the splash damage light the rope?
Yes. Absolutely.
Because that will also get both the other horses and their riders, and maybe the two in front. But
That
it will
will
probably also
certainly have that effect, yes.
I'm just
Do I
gonna,
want to throw Alchemist fire at the horse? Is the question. So you kind of want the horse.
I'm just gonna check my notes on whether I can heal animals.
How many hit points does the horse has? Because it might be less than 1d6. Oh well, I'm gonna go for it. I don't care. I like setting things on fire.
Horses are pretty chunky. The horses are definitely have more hit points than a human being.
The main issue is you're setting a horse on fire, like in a place with flammable buildings. It's
Yeah,
gonna go interestingly. Like, I'm all on board for it. It's just gonna be like, oh, someone kill that horse before it sets us all on fire.
Okay, so
No.
throwing
No.
Alchemist Fire is a thrown weapon roll. I will say you will set the line of oil on fire whatever you do. It's basically just, do you get a direct hit or does it hit the ground?
I will be responsible. I will throw it at the rope, not at the horse, and just get the riders in. And the horse is a little bit in some splash damage. But I think only the target actually catches full fire, so the horses will not be running around on fire. So I throw out fire vial. I hit rope. Well,
Yep.
I'm assuming I hit rope.
Yeah,
It's an 8.
you don't need to roll for that one. It's just
Cool.
the target is big enough that you cannot feasibly miss.
Fab.
The bottle shatters on impact, and the orange liquid it bursts out and then like turns yellow immediately on contact with the air and explodes.
Goodbye, Alchemist's fire. It was nice knowing you.
I'm gonna find more.
The spurts of burning liquids splash out over the two still mounted bandits and on the horses, who immediately bray, panic, and go wide-eyed.
And yeah, I would like to make an immediate run for this ladder and get as high up it as I can.
Absolutely.
How does climbing work in Pathfinder? I'm so sorry.
Half speed without.
Fab. How tall is the ladder?
Okay, so
I'm probably like halfway up the ladder.
Yeah.
moving on to our boys. So we'll start off with the bandits, who are going to attempt to try and keep their horses, keep on their horses. Oh dear. Okay, so one stays on, but the other one gets thrown backwards and through the burning liquid as he gets knocked prone. So he will take some damage as he goes straight through it. But he will spend his action frantically rolling on the ground to extinguish himself. So he is on the ground and in extreme pain, but not on fire. This guy is going to stand up. Then he's going to boisterously run over towards Alina and stab at her with a short sword.
What a mad lad.
Clearly thinks he's got the situation under control.
Fs and 07s in the chat, everybody.
But clearly is not expecting an actual trained fighter because his wild swing is easily blocked.
Alina is just still there, like with a piece of bread in her mouth, like, oh, we're fighting. Oh.
You said the word.
Yeah, but she wasn't expecting them to continue.
Let's see this banner here. The man in the hood looks back and yells, "Yeah, we're back to Cressel." And the banner says, "Right away, Haps." And will attempt to push his horse to get through the fire. And actually manages it.
Alex, how do we make you take your failure?
You could make him spectacularly fail this roll if you'd like.
We're burning a lot of bank rolls.
It's
But
funny.
it's funny.
Just,
It
It
is
is
funny.
funny. Let's make the scene happen. Yeah.
get word back to Pressel. Don't worry, boss. Spectacularly fails.
I mean, I'm happy for him to take the failure. But
I'm in favour.
Okay, so he spurs his mount to turn and actually go through the flames, but there's just a soft like spiral of sawdust that forms in the burning mix of oil, straw, and dust, and it's just enough and placed in just the right way for the banner to also get flung off as the horse on its own bolts and runs off.
Oh no, horsey, come back.
That horse is gone.
that horse was a hero.
So I think so this horse here in a panic is going to basically flail its hooves at Gore. It's clear this is not it's clear this is just the horse panicking rather than like a concerted effort to try and take you out, Gore.
Gore just lamps the horse.
What do you think turned to us?
Gore just turns around and punches the horse.
My AC is currently 14 because I am raging. So that is a miss.
Yeah, putting your axe in the way, you managed to avoid getting trampled.
So next turn, handle animal check. Turn after that.
Can you make an animal handle check whilst raging?
I can stop raging.
That's true.
I can stop whenever I want, when I want it. I'm not an addict.
And this horse, with fire behind it and people in front of it, is going to run directly into a bear trap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
well,
shall
at
we
least we're
say,
gonna have
immediately
food to
stops
chew.
its motion.
It's like corralling. It's fine.
I can heal the horses afterwards. I can heal the horses afterwards.
D&D is magic. Hobbling isn't real.
For the last
It will
person,
run at the derby.
perhaps himself, is going to turn level as longbow and fire at Gore. Just check. You're a +3. Good God. These people,
Nope.
these people not having a good day. And that looks like that's all of them. Coriel.
Right. So I am popping out of the storehouse, moving to here. And throwing the dagger I prepared at the lead guy.
Oof.
Didn't confirm, but
Yeah. So that's 5 damage. That leaves this guy definitely injured.
Nice. I'm guessing I don't get sneak attack on that.
No, unfortunately not.
No, yeah, he's already acted. That's fine. That's fine. And so I'm throwing that, and while I'm stepping forward as well, pulling the getting the cutlass ready.
Okey-dokey. Alina.
Alina's gonna 5-foot step to here. Still bread in mouth. Pulls the shield off her back, and as a move action, I will gain the benefits of the Startos Comet feat. Ooh.
I'm scared already.
And then I'm going to throw my shield at Haps.
I was going to say, would you mind explaining that to the audience at home?
Like, so with that roll, you know, if you've seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you know when he's getting used to the shield, it just whoo, it's gone. It's like, that is a problem. That's me done. Unless an 11 hit.
It did not.
Should ask.
So just after you, Alina, is Oleg, who is going to make a break for the for his house with his with his arms over his head. He is definitely not a fighter. Which then puts us over to Jin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am going to. Can I see this this guy? The one that's knocked down outside.
Yes, you can.
Cool. I'll fire my crossbow at him. I don't want him running off. Or not? Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah, with him rolling around to put the fire out, your bolt smacks into the ground where it was a second ago.
Hold still, or I'll shoot again.
Okay, over to Gore.
Gore would like to stop raging and then try and convince his horse to stand down, either through animal handling or through grabbing it by its scruff of the neck and dragging it into the stables. Either way works.
So, an important question is: are you trained in handle animals?
I am, you know.
That's good. That's a good start. Please make a check for me.
So you dropped out of rage, which means you're fatigued for a little while.
I can't rage again. I can't rage for one turn.
Oh, okay. It's like
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
you can't rage for as long as for a number of actions that you were for a number of rounds you were raging for.
I was just checking to see if fatigue causes penalty on skill checks. It's fine.
It's not fatigued. It's special because it's not. It's the
Oh yeah, you're a what's a face barbarian.
Yeah, so the horse is still noticeably panicked, but with you able to kind of establish yourself as not a threat to it, and that you're willing to let it pass you, you kind of you're able to gesture it towards the stables as a safe place.
Go to your room.
Which the horse is not especially well trained, but it's been trained enough to kind of recognize, oh, a stable, that's where I should be. So on its turn, it will be able to. It's still panicked, but it's not gonna trample anyone. It's got a clear place it needs to go.
and Gore will in turn to the 3 remaining dudes inside and go, "Please surrender." And he sort of shuffles himself on the ground, ready to go again.
Haps spits at the ground in front of you as a reply.
Oh, and that's me.
Over to Mara.
I would like to finish climbing the ladder, get up onto the palisade, and I would also like to take a pot shot at the guy on the floor, on the basis that if Gore can't see it happen, Gore doesn't have to be sad about it. And there is a wall of fire in the way.
I was just suddenly above that. I mean, who could possibly have known?
We were hunting rabbits, Gore.
Plus, more importantly, this guy might run out and tell people to hit. So that.
That is a terrible but very valid strategy.
So yeah, I am going to yeet my slingshot at him for my whole 1d3 damage, if it even hits.
Yeah.
That should actually hit. Let's see. It does, yeah. He cries out in pain as the sling smashes into his stomach.
Why do I always roll 1s on my damage?
He looks very badly injured between the burns he suffered and the bad bruise you've also given him. Anything else with your turn, Mara?
No, that'll do it.
Okay. We shall start off with the horse, the most important character in this combat.
Absolutely.
Who's going to the horse runs past you, Gore, but with enough warning that you're able to step out the way before it tramples over you and runs into the stable.
Good.
The man on the ground over here is quite content to just lie on the ground, clutching his stomach in pain. He is pretty close to death's door and has no interest in speeding the process. But the rest of them, so this guy is going to move up and strike at Gore with his short sword.
Aha. My AC is now 16 again. Oh, damn it. All right.
So he gets you. Does 7 piercing damage.
All right.
This guy's going to move to intercept Alina. I'm guessing a 15 isn't going to hit you, Alina.
Just double check. No, only just a miss though.
Yeah, once Zabana realizes that he's actually dealing with someone who knows how to fight back, his second strike is noticeably more cautious. And perhaps he's going to move to take. He crouches down behind the benches and fires a shot at Coriel. Doesn't 18 hit you?
No, because now that I'm not flat-footed, my dodge feat has activated, and my AC will be 19.
Nice. So I imagine it's like it's just one of those moments where Coriel just like sidesteps at just the right moment so that the arrow sails past his shoulder and slams into the barn door. And Haps calls out, "Ha! My mother was wrong. I can't hit the side of a barn door." Like that's basically like shrugging off the fact that he missed his shot.
Only just, narrowly.
Speaking of which,
Right, so I'm going to move to here.
Mhm.
Do I need to make any checks to not take an attack of opportunity for moving through threatened space, like acrobatics or?
so what's the route you took through?
Let's work out if there's one way you can go and not.
Not really, because either way, I'm going to get an attack of opportunity from somebody.
Yeah.
But I'm more than happy to do an acrobatics check to get there.
Yep.
Army revolt.
So this is one where I'm not 100% with the DC of how to avoid an attack of opportunity.
CMD of the person he's trying to avoid the attack from.
Thank you. Okay, so you're able to slip past quick enough that the bandit's not able to stab at you.
Cool. And I get flanking bonus on this, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. I factored that in.
Oof.
No, so the bandit kind of waved his sword in your direction, which you were able to dodge past, but it ruins your follow-up strike. So you've got him surrounded, but don't manage to strike. Okay, over to Alina.
Did Oleg shut the door when he went in the building?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
And you heard a
Let's see.
distinct thud of wood on wood afterwards as well.
Okay, so as a that's unfortunate. Now I've looked at it. Screw it. I don't like having someone just repeatedly fire arrows at people, and this person is no threat to me. So I'm going to charge at Haps. Just like jump over the table and attempt to kick him in the face.
Excellent.
Um,
Probably going to need an athletics check to make it over the. It's a case of both making it over the tables and also avoiding an attack of opportunity.
I am not intending on avoiding the attack of opportunity. However, I can make an acrobatics check to try and jump over a table, or a climb check. Your choice. That will hit.
That's unfortunate because I was rolling that would inflict a penalty on the check as you get hit.
Well, ooh.
Okay. Okay, so you take 4 piercing damage as the bandit manages like a glancing shot on your leg as you rush past him. But you are able to successfully basically vault on top of the table to get a strike if it taps.
So it'll be +2 to this because it's a charge. Wow, 17 to hit for 3 damage. I joined Lucy in rolling ones for damage club.
Yeah, so your golem cracks against Haps's face, and You hear bone break under the force of the hit. He is barely clinging on at this stage.
It's just like, thank God, maybe that'll shut you up.
Okay, we're moving on to Jin.
So can somebody remind me? Is there a penalty for shooting it into combat with somebody's? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't know how to say yes. In that
It is
case,
a -4.
I'm going to fire at the guy on the floor again, just outside the camp. This guy here.
Okay.
He's already down. Oh God.
Oh, I've rolled that twice by accident. Sorry, so it's the first one. Probably misses again.
Yeah. So your shot sails over him as he groans in pain.
I will then. I don't know if I'm going to stay here because I think if anybody tries to leave, I can still fire at them again. So I'll just stay here. So on to the next person.
Over to Gore.
So Gore has one more round before he can rage again. But he is going to hit this guy, and he's going to try and hit him pretty hard because this is getting silly now. So I will power attack. 17 to hit for 10 damage. That was a bad roll of damage dice.
So your overhead swing goes into the bandit's head and like goes about halfway through.
Oh no.
Oh God. Oh God. You're the worst pacifist.
I'm not a pacifist. I don't like killing people.
It's like
So-
it's basically just a case of like the force of the swing does most of the work here as he just collapses.
Gore just looks at the ground and goes, "Why didn't you surrender?" He will then walk to here, shout at the guy and go, "Please surrender." Stance.
Please surrender with like with brains on his axe.
Throw the brain matter on the end of his axe. Go, please, please, please make me stop.
It's one of the more interesting battle cries I've heard. Please surrender.
Please surrender. It's not going to go well for you as much as you want it to. I'm happy to make an intimidation check. But
Sure, let's go for it.
all right. 21. Please stop.
Okay. The bandit the bandit up here looks over at you, looks over at Haps, looks back at you again. Like there's something affecting him here.
I understand.
Haps makes a rude gesture at you.
I understand. That is my turn.
Mara.
I'm going to yell down at the guy currently on the floor. Stay down, or we'll shoot you again. I have more Bernie things. And I'm then just going to brandish my sling threateningly because I have a shitty little slingshot and everyone else is far away and engaged in combat.
Okay. Anything else?
No. I'm going to hold an action to actually attempt to hit him with my slingshot if he looks like he's getting up and running away.
Yay. So, over to our boys. So this guy down here is. There's a moment where he stops and he looks over. He looks up at you, and looks over at the crossbow bolts already like impaled in the ground. And he is going to scrabble to his feet and try and make a run for it.
Oh no.
Rude! I'm going to try to hit him with my sling again. I did warn him. I did. With Potter and me.
You did warn him. He's just he just knows what will happen if he tries to surrender.
Mid-damage club!
Oh. So that's not enough to kill him, I'll tell you that much.
Don't you add like dex to damage with slings?
No.
No.
Not for slings,
Wait.
no.
You add strength to damage, oddly.
Yes. I am not strong. I am the opposite of strong.
So your sling rock clips past his head, and he starts to sort of hobble away. So he was slowed down a lot by having to get back up on his feet, but he does start moving away, probably up to about here. It's what's the time.
I'm just going to yell after him. You're still in range.
Jin's muttering a prayer to Pharasma. It's like, please, just let me hit once.
Has Jin ever actually hit anything in combat yet?
Yeah, do you remember the session 0 where I said I'm just going to fire blindly into the corridor?
Yeah.
And critted on the first hit. I haven't hit again since then. Apart from I hit the boss guy at the start of this fight, and that was it.
Perhaps like looks over that the bandit is still alive, and kind of you see like a really like a serious look come over his face. He's going to step away from Alina, and then he takes out a bottle of a conspicuous orange liquid from his belt, and hurls it towards Gore.
He has alchemist fire too.
He
How
does.
dare? He's not an alchemist. That's
no.
cultural appropriation.
Well, at least I'm not raging right now.
Yeet! Which crashes into the ground in front of Gore and explodes. So Gore and Coriel both take 1 fire damage.
Are we on fire?
Yes.
That's annoying.
I think you're only sustainedly on fire if you get directly hit. If you take the splash damage, you don't continue to burn. I think. I'm not the DM, I just happen to have read Alchemist Fire recently.
Oh, you are right, yes. Thank you. It's only on a direct hit that you actually set on fire.
Hooray! Not on fire.
So you get basically like splashed by this burning liquid as the shards explode outwards. See what this guy's going to do.
I mean, his own boss is just with Alchemist Fire.
Yeah, again, you see a noticeable look over to Haps, and then the bandit, still shaken by everything that's happening, still aims a stab over it at Coriel. At a penalty because he's shaken. It's like a half-hearted jab in your direction, Coriel. Like something that's easily parried. Okay, over to you.
So that's not how you use a sword.
You call that a stab?
This is how you use a sword.
Oh, yeah.
How to use a sword.
You get several like powerful slices through this guy's arms as he shrieks in pain. He shrieks in pain and noticeably drops his sword.
Goodbye.
Mostly to like cover his arms that are now bleeding. Anything else with your turn?
Nope, that's it. But obviously, as Coriel is like slicing, like his coat sleeves are kind of like rolled up and kind of sit high up, and he's got fingerless gloves on, and you can actually see there is a load of obvious scars on his forearms where he suffered the same thing in the past.
Okay, over to Alina.
As a move action, Alina's going to trade away Startos Comet, which only works when throwing a shield, for weapon focus punch. It's powerful feat. And she just sort of steps down to Haps and goes, "Okay, now I know I've broken your jaw, so this is going to hurt." And she just goes to punch him in the face again. I'm trying to do this non-lethally. It has an additional +1 to hit. 18 to hit for 4 non-lethal damage.
Down he goes.
I turn and I give Gore a thumbs up. I only broke his jaw slightly.
Okay. Over to Jin. There's a bandit making a run for it.
I am going to attempt to shoot the bandit making a run for it. Is there any way I can get an advantage on this? Probably not. Okay, just bang.
Ooh.
Yeah, your shot goes straight through the guy's heart and he just collapses, kind of mid-run. His legs twitch a bit as if he was still trying to move, and then he just drops and falls still.
Jen just shouts, "Thank you for Erasmus, thank you!"
Stay down.
Oh, this guy's definitely dead, Warren.
Just sort of looks at Mirage and say, "Don't tell Gore."
Speaking of which,
So this guy has dropped his weapon, right?
he has.
Cool. I would like to walk up to him and grapple him. It's not so much like a Vulcan nerf pinch, but more of a and you're going to stop now, yes?
Okay. So it's another CMB check.
Yes,
He
I
won't
am.
try and fight back. Well, he won't try and hit you back, at least.
Oh, that's good.
He can't. Weirdly.
Oh no!
He's secretly a monk.
I'm secretly a monk. No,
Who's
that's all right.
secretly hugging him?
He manages to wrench himself free. He's basically, his immediate focus right now is the sheer amount of pain that he's in.
Yeah, with that not working, Gore will switch back into the "please stop" stance, otherwise known as martial guitar
Stop.
phase 1.
Stop. Please stop.
And that's me.
Okay, Mara.
I genuinely don't think I have anything to contribute at this point. Like, one of them is down, one of them is far away and engaged in combat with 2 chunky people, and the rest are dead. So Mara's just going to yell at this one. I've got a slingshot!
Quick, she's got a shooter!
He's got a rock.
And again, if this guy makes any actual threatening moves towards my friend, I try to.
Okie dokie. So the bandit, who's still making large amounts of noise, realizes the situation that he's in and raises up both of his bloodied arms.
Good decision!
Says, okay, please stop. Unless anyone else would like to do anything, we can safely drop out of combat at that stage.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Hey.
We only killed half of them. I'm so proud of you all. We saved 2 of the horses. Ish.
I'm going to start.
Alex,
Mhm.
can I attempt to climb down the other side of the palisade so I can attempt to get this guy out of sight before the wildfire burns out?
It is quite a significant drop on the other side of the palisades, I will warn you.
I'm good at climbing. It'll be fine.
It's like in the region of probably at least a 12-foot drop. So it will hurt.
That is
I'm,
like 4 me's.
I'm going to go and
Not gonna do
pull the dagger I threw out at Haps out of him, out of his unconscious body, and just go, thanks, mate.
I'm going to
Melinda
see what I can
pulls the
do.
shield out of the wall. It's like,
I genuinely want to check on the horse and see if the horse is okay. See if I can heal it if needs be.
So the horse in the trap, it looks like its leg got broken by the bear trap as it snapped closed.
Has it passed out or is it still?
It's trying to move, but not very successfully.
Okay. I'm going to call for someone like Gore. Can you come and help? Because I'll need somebody to hold the horse.
Okay. Gore puts down a bucket of dirt and a bucket of water next to here, and will attempt to calm the horse.
Yeah, you might need to grapple it because I need to get the trap off and then heal it. And if anybody else needs healed, you might want to come stand close.
Okay.
wait, hang on. Just before you do that, I go over here and I tie up Haps just to make sure.
Good plan.
So if the
Okay.
if the buckets of water and like dirt have been put down, I'll go pick them up and start spreading that over the fire. Try and put that out.
Tie him up as well.
Yeah, I'm going to tie this guy up, sit him down on the bench, and kind of aggressively feed him stew.
So we're
Hey,
doing all
my
these things
dude.
not necessarily in the order we're saying.
Yep, he doesn't offer any resistance.
Just like, you made good decisions today. Have some stew.
Why are you giving away all my stew?
It's not your stew. It's everyone's stew.
That was my breakfast.
Okay. Go, please make an animal handling check. DC will be slightly higher.
Yeah, fine. Animal handling.
Even you.
14.
Okay, so the horse manages to it doesn't kick out at you like it was originally planning to, but it lets out like a scared whinny and tries to it's trying to stand back up, but its leg won't allow it to.
Do you need me to make some sort of check to get the trap off before I attempt to heal it? With the trap still around its leg?
Yes, so it's either disable device or strength, depending on specifically how you're
Guess
doing it.
which method Gore uses.
I
Gore brings out his thieves' tools.
Disable
No,
device is a
help me out.
+2. What's based off of Dex? Yeah.
I'm good at disabling devices. I can help.
I was going to say,
Yeah. Let's Mark. That's what I'm looking at it going, Can you help take the trap off and can I help hold the
Check how
horse?
much damage is taken.
Alina takes the bowl of stew and is like, this is my stew.
I disarm. You heal.
That's a
Please
bad
don't be-
amount of damage. Let me check.
Please don't be shit. Please don't be shit. Not shit.
Okay, so one of the bad news things is the horse is very, very badly injured.
Okay.
Like it broke one of its legs from the bear trap alone, and then it hit the deck hard. Let's see.
So I can only heal it up the way. I can't make it worse, is what we're saying.
That's traditionally how healing works, yes.
I mean, I guess theoretically you could make it worse, but
Yeah, if I
not
just channel
unintentionally.
energy the wrong way, and if anybody needs healed, you might want to get over closer. I don't. Can I remember how far away this works at?
So Mari, you managed to kind of figure out how to disable the trap, but it's just the very particular way that it's enclosed around the horse's leg has meant that you're not able to get it off. You think you may need like something like a lever in order to make it easier.
Does anyone have a lever?
Gore will go. The horse is reasonably calm now, so you should be able to do your thing. Let me go and check my pack. And Gore will walk over to his backpack, spend a few seconds, and pull out a crowbar. And then we'll walk back over and hand you the crowbar. I have some weird shit in my backpack.
No, it's fine.
Would you like me to reattempt roll with lever?
Yep.
Roll with lever.
So the thing about the crowbar is it's about half as big as I am.
Yeah. So with this one, you put the crowbar in between the jaws and pull, and you know you're doing the right thing. It's just not quite getting it.
Can I offer a help on that? I don't know if help's a thing in Pathfinder.
It is, yes.
Unfortunately, I think disabled device is trained only. So unless you have ranks in it, it's really hard to help someone.
I do have
Well,
2
if you
ranks in
mean-
it.
Oh, in which case, yeah.
So does Mara roll again?
So what happens is you make a disabled device check of your own with a specific DC, and then it will give a bonus depending on what you do.
Jin is helping.
Well, yeah,
That's a good. The good news is you're not helping. The bad news is you're not helping.
For the audience at home, combat is really, really simple in Pathfinder. Interacting with the world is really complicated.
It
I
turns
know,
out
but
that
it's
some
really awful.
it's really hard.
We're trying to
Jin,
save a horse.
I'm going to disagree with you. Combat is not really simple when you involve bull rushes and grappling.
Gore, can you just pull the trap off its leg?
Yes, I will. Can I have the crowbar, please?
I relinquish the crowbar.
Cool. I would like to go into a rage with the crowbar and just pull this damn thing open.
Okie doke.
Yes. So I believe that's one of the skills I'm allowed to do whilst raging. So it'll be an athletics check or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Remove bear trap from horse. Also in the rulebook.
I mean, it was in 3.5. Remove bear trap was actually its own skill.
That's why I'm checking, just in case.
Entirely unsurprised to learn that information.
Cool. It'll be a strength check, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So I get +2 to whatever I roll here. So that's a 13. That's really bad. Come on, James.
We're just all failing so badly at this.
Do I have anything to add to that?
Okay, so I'm gonna say, with the benefit of Gore's rage, what you basically do is snap the bear trap in half. So
Cool.
it's the horse is free of it, but it's useless now.
It's fine. I was getting fed up with that bear trap anyway.
Me too.
It was clearly defective.
Can I have my
I
crowbar?
mean, it was very effective, actually. Like,
Gore, whilst in the rage, goes, crowbar, give.
Does anybody
Yeah.
else need healed before I check?
Gore is going to go round with his crowbar and is going to stab the center pedal with the crowbar on each of the bear traps to deactivate, to snap them, but then make them safe.
Gore, do you need healed before you do that?
Do you need heal later? Stab now.
No. Heal now, stab later.
He'll start with this one because the one next to Jin, so I'm not being a complete arse.
Yeah. So basically, activating them just causes them to slam shut harmlessly,
Yeah.
but they will need rearming before they can be used.
Okay, I'm going to roll down. I'm doing my healing stuff now, so stand closer. Alina, you're close enough. Do you need healed?
I think this is close enough.
Okay. Oh, great. Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh no.
Have 2 health back.
Is that everyone within range?
Yeah, I
Cool. I only needed 1.
I need a lot more than that.
I'll do it again. It's fine. Can we make sure that the baddies aren't within range of this, please?
Well, the first
I
one.
mean,
Let's see.
What is the range?
I don't know. Actually, I can't see.
it's a 30-foot burst, but it doesn't go through walls. Oh no, it does go through walls in this edition.
Just drag him further away then.
Yeah, Alex, I would have preferred they weren't.
I mean, there's a reason I tied them up. Like,
So on the first channel, the wounds on the bandit's arms start to close up, and Haps wakes up.
crucially, it also heals an equal amount of non-lethal damage. Pathfinder is weird.
That guy's not getting the benefit of it. He's long since passed on.
Okay, I'm gonna try again. Can we make sure these 2 aren't in range?
You want to go stand over there then, Jen?
Can somebody bring the horse?
Oh, the horse is not going to die. The horse can just bed rest it now.
Okay, the horse is in range. That guy's in range. That guy's not.
I mean, like the guy we beat up pretty heavily, who is at the Haps, is probably fine to be healed.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. There we go.
Hooray!
I'm gonna be that guy. Why are you rolling 2d6 for this?
Because I get 1d6 normally, and then 1d6 per level or something.
No, it levels up every odd level.
Yeah, does it not go like 3d6 at the next level?
Yeah, it goes
No,
2d6
it goes
at
one
third.
1d6 at first level, and then 2d6 at third level.
Okay. Do we re-roll at 1d6 then?
No, it's fine. We'll take the 5.
Sure.
The one. I am at 22 out of 23. I am all good. And I have how many rages left today? 8 more rages today.
That's one for each bear trap.
Don't tempt me, Frodo.
Okay, so the important question to ask is anyone specifically watching the prisoners?
Yes.
Lena's right there.
Yeah.
I would go over to them after everything sort of calmed down. Keep an eye.
Okay, so the bandit, he does, like, you can see his eyes move towards the gate entrance, but he's not making any moves yet.
I look at him and I go, friend, it's really not worth it. Even if you were to get out of this fort without being knocked out or killed, we have your horses.
Because you kind of whatever those looks like, and you blame me for trying.
Yes. With extreme prejudice.
If it's okay, Gore will try and take this hobbled horse into the stable just to get it out of the way.
You know?
Come, horse, stable. And then we'll
He
shout
kind of stumble walks over into the stable.
Yeah. Go on, Mr. Horsey. Let's get you inside. Where the big mean bear traps can't get you. There we go. Okay. At that point, as a security measure, Gore's going to close the door of the stables and then close the door of the fort.
Okay, so now that things have have settled down a little bit. Now is a good time to have our break for lunch.
Yes,
So
please.
someone please tell Stuart when he gets back. So we'll be back on at 10 to 3. So a reminder to all my players and chat to get something to eat, get some water, and we will be back with you in half an hour's time.
I will probably be back sooner, but because I'm keen, I like talking to chat occasionally.
Perfect timing, Stu. We are just about to break for lunch. So I'm going to head off myself. I'll be back in a little bit.
It's just me and you now, chat. And maybe Sean, who knows?
I am here. I am just eating cheese and biscuits.
Oh, how decadent.
I know, right? There's definitely nothing to do with the fact that I ran out of bread this morning after toast and I hadn't had a chance to go to the shop yet. Absolutely not.
I am definitely eating a sensible one and not just crisps because I don't have any food left in the house.
Well, at least you've eaten like 1 billion apples a day.
Oh, yeah. Gotta eat your 5 a day. That's apples only, right? That's the rule.
That's totally how it works. Definitely does not require variation in the vitamin and mineral intake. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, once again, I've managed to do an entire combat with making a single attack roll that killed a man instantly.
I mean, I did a combat where I started off throwing away my primary weapon and going, yep, that's going to happen every time, isn't it? I've got like a +8 to hit with it. Just can't roll above a 4. That shield.
It's alright, eventually it'll become magnetized and fly back to you.
Well, just as a side note for the chat and the players which are here, Startos Comet lets it come back to me, but only if I hit.
Oh no.
Because it essentially it gives me a second attack normally, but I was like, Mitu, can I just have it bounce back as instead of the second attack? And it's part of a feat chain where the next one up the feat chain, which I think you'll see either next level or the level after. You know the very popular franchise Marvel has a hero called, I believe they're known as something like Lieutenant Canada or something like that. Yeah. So when they throw their shield and it bounces off multiple things and comes back, that's exactly what that feat does. But you can do it with multiple enemies. Is it a good feat? Kind of. Not really. It's very fun though.
Well, I did as everyone suggested. I took the accurate rage power. I'm just choosing not to fight what's raging. It's what it turns out is what I'm playing with this character.
I can't wait for you to get the calm rage power.
What's calm rage?
It turns off all the benefits of rage other than increased health. So you can choose to, instead of going into a regular rage, go into a calm rage and just be like, I'm just tankier for a bit.
Kind of fun. No, I'm definitely going damage dealing with this particular character, I think. Because right now the rage power attack great axe attack is now slightly sillier, +7 to hit, dealing 1d12 plus 11 damage. It's a little silly.
Well, look at you with your +7 to hit, which actually hits. Jeez.
I know, right? It's powerful. Too strong. Why we have to turn it down with roleplay shenanigans and combat maneuver checks.
But yeah, I feel like I could tell you for the future, anytime you do a combat maneuver, if you don't have the improved feat version of it, you will provoke an attack of opportunity from anyone nearby.
Well, good to know. It's been good so far. Have we raised any charity for stream? How's the chat? How's chat? So I'm not actually on today.
Chat is about. I will go and check the donation link because I forgot. Aha. Nothing extra since the start of the stream. Oh, that's the point. We should work out who gets the benefit of the thing that we got for helping out in Bravoy. The slightly better weapon.
The slightly better weapon. Is that the axe in the cupboard?
I think so. From what Alex was saying, it sounded like one of us can get a slightly better weapon from the nebulous back cupboard.
Hmm.
Obviously, I can't. And for story reasons, we probably can't give it to Coriel, even though that might be a play.
We can give Jen a better crossbow. Hey, plus one to hit.
Well, we know Jin has only 2 modes, one of which is like miss, and the other of which is absolutely murder someone to the point that they cannot be healed.
Well, there's actually 3 modes. I can miss, hit but do very little, or hit and absolutely destroy them. So it's
You have accurately described the 3 outcomes of an attack roll in a D&D game.
that is fair. Yeah. I just seem to lean towards miss and destroy.
But yeah, I think it's probably between Jin and Gore, because again, Mara's main form of attack is definitely not the sling.
I could definitely take a +1 great axe if such a thing exists.
Probably only masterwork at the level we're at, which is fine.
Masterwork has improved the crit range, right?
No. For weapons, masterwork is a +1 enhancement bonus to hit.
Okay.
But you need a weapon to be masterwork if you want to enchant it in any way.
Okay.
For armor, masterwork does some real weird things. Like initially, it reduces the armor check penalty by 1. But then you need it to be masterwork for enchanting, and then there's some other nebulous things you can do. Like there's a book somewhere in Pathfinder somewhere that gives options for like unique improvements to weapons and armor.
Okay.
So there's stuff like what is it? There's one which makes that essentially you add a hook to your weapon, so it's better at disarming. There's one which I think is like it increases the crit range but reduces the damage. There's a lot of weird stuff. Unfortunately, every time you improve your weapon, it increases in skill to use. So if you do it to a simple weapon, the simple weapon goes to a martial weapon. And then if you do it to a martial weapon, it goes to an exotic weapon. And if you do it to an exotic weapon, there is actually a feat after exotic weapon proficiency you have to take to use it at that point.
I love the idea. Go, what have you got there? The world's most complicated sling.
There is also a weapon in Pathfinder which is illegal. As in, it got added, and then Pathfinder Society immediately banned it.
Excellent. It's good game design.
So it's an exotic weapon. James, you'll understand when I describe it. It's an exotic weapon which is like orcish in nature and design, so orcs get proficiency with it, and therefore so do half orcs. It's a 19. It's a 20 crit range times 3. It's essentially flavor-wise, it's just a great axe that they've added orcish improvements to, so it's bigger and has more spikes and ripping implements on it. The difference here is its base damage is 3d6. So initially, that sounds pretty good. However, the thing about Pathfinder is one of the ways to increase melee damage is you increase the size of the weapon. So the way it works is it goes from a certain point, it goes 2d6 to 3d6, 3d6 to 4d6, and then it goes 4d6 to 6, and then like a huge amount up after that. But increasing it one step on this tree means that at like level, I think 6 or 8, you could be hitting with this axe and it doing like 8d6 of damage, which is the same as a 3rd level spell.
Wow.
Yep.
And that's why it's illegal.
It's good reason to be illegal. Yeah.
Because Paizo was like, we're making this cool thing, and then Pathfinder Society went, and we're not. No, we know what happens if we allow this. Everyone gets one.
If a simple crossbow becomes a masterwork or a martial weapon, I don't think I can use it anymore. I don't get proficiency with it anymore.
No.
Then
But, like, that-
that.
So that only involves if we're using like the weird upgrade rules, which I suggest heavily you avoid because honestly it doesn't add much to the game. Unless you're playing like a campaign focused around like blacksmiths and like sort of a martial prowess sort of game. So like if you're playing low sort of fantasy, low magic settings, it works, but until then you don't really need it.
It's up to Alex anyway, but I mean, if my light crossbow becomes anything other than a simple weapon, then I don't get proficiency in it. So.
But yeah, I think maybe masterwork like crossbow or masterwork gore weapon.
Yeah. Gore's probably going to use the weapon more often than I am, or for more.
Can I make my barbarian masterwork? Is that a thing I can do?
I
Is
mean,
the
Gore gets more use out of his
barbarian
weapon than I do.
barbarian already?
I mean, that's true. For 50 gold, I can buy a masterwork tool, so that's me covered.
Oh dear. Is improved power attack a thing in this game?
Called cleave.
I understand.
It's like there's not really an improved power attack because power attack scales up until you're like 5th level, at which point most martial feats don't really care anymore. And you probably want the bonuses to hit over the bonuses to damage at that point. But yeah, it starts into the cleave tree where things gets very silly very quick.
I think that's what I'm taking next as my feat, I think. At least, I say I think. That's what you've told me to do.
Look, I think cleave is a great. Well, that's a lie. I know cleave is a great feat tree, but there are other things you can take. You can take skill, focus, and animal if you wanted.
I might have to put some extra ranks in it after all this.
I wasn't expecting the whole Hail the Horse thing to go quite so deep into that.
We were really invested in fixing it. We're not being murder hobos. It's really good. We need to keep this up. We need to care about the horses and stuff. So we get, like really deep into it, and then
I'm just very aware that Gore is now a horse girl. Like that's you've become the archetype of horse girl.
Thanks.
I don't know if you guys watch any other D&D shows, but there's a brilliant one called The Seven, and one of the characters in that is actually
The introduction of like that character, I was like, hang on. And then they started describing the horse, and I was like, oh no, I know where this is going.
Yeah, very much into the Dropout series, they're great.
Yeah. Usually it's at pauses in the conversation in the break where we take time to plug the other stuff which is going on, but I genuinely don't know what we have currently.
Oh, let me check the docket.
Do we? Is it a May or a June game we have?
So we have a game. We have a game on the 7th of May, which is being run by the wonderful Sheridan, who uses the Twitch handle Rasteron, if you want to look her up, who's running a City of Mist one shot on the 7th of May.
And then, by that logic, we have obviously. We have one in July this year.
We have one in
Do we have
June.
one in June?
We have one in June being run by Rachel, which we don't have a set date yet, but it's going to be towards the end of the month, somewhere around the 20th to 26th, something around that time. I'm not sure what Rachel's running.
I return after making all of my gross sequences.
I understand. I'm not super sure Rachel's running. We will have to make sure that we are aware for next time, or when the magical voice of Sean emanates at the end of the session. I'm sure he will enlighten us into that particular upcoming game. But no, there is definitely one in May. First weekend of May. Definitely worth tuning in. Sheridan is a fantastic GM and runs a very good game.
I'm gonna say then definitely have something in August, though I don't know when.
Yes, there will be at some point some announcement of the X number of hours, Y number of days, Z number of players, particular madness that Sean runs. I would love to fill in what those numbers could be, because it could range between a 48-hour game with 6 GMs and 40 odd players, which was an escalation of the year before of 24 hours and 12 players and 1 GM. So who knows? This year we could have like an entire 10 GM, 100 player multi-game madness going on again. Who knows? Or
This year, maybe I'll just do 60 hours on stream of me juggling. Who knows?
who knows?
Hint
Tune
chat,
in to
I
Fortnite.
can't juggle. It'll be 60 hours of me attempting to learn how to juggle.
What's that? What's that saying about how many hours it takes to master something?
Like 10,000.
Oh, that might take a few streams.
So what's your Twitch channel about? Well, it started out as D&D charity streams, but then it quickly became 10,000 hours of man learning how to juggle.
I believe, Ed, you are put down to be doing something around the time of Halloween towards the end of the year.
I can't wait to announce that. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm just going to say, for people who have seen my games run, it's as stupid as you think it's going to be.
Excellent.
I'm having to practice voices. It's great.
People actually practice their voices in advance? Wow.
We're
When I'm-
hardcore method actors here at Assembled.
when I'm creating legally distinct versions of characters, I have to practice the voices.
He does a meme Tom Kench if anyone's particularly into the League of Legends franchise.
And there was that,
Please don't sue us, Riot.
and there was that 12-hour game where I did Kermit for most of it.
Amazing.
Fantastic bunch of
That
legacy.
sounds physically painful to witness.
It was. We raised a lot of money for charity, so it's all for
Trying to get him to stop. Or...
I feel
Which-
like, as tech, I should chime in to say that for that 12-hour Kermit game, it was a very dramatic and serious tone game.
And then you had me there going, "Oh, hello, how's it going?" I've lost it. I can't do it anymore. It broke me.
Not to mention that Kermit sacrificed himself for the greater good.
That's just standard for comedy characters. They always heroically sacrifice themselves.
And they always live 15 years longer than you expect them to.
Okay, so taking a glance at the screen, we do need to rejig the cameras a little bit before we start.
That is because someone has jumped off camera. It's fine. It could reassert itself.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that's me. I'm still
That's fine.
at base level.
If it will solve itself, that is one less thing to worry about.
Who am I currently? Oh, I'm the GM.
Oh no,
that's
Ed's
not
Eric.
me.
I'm Lucy, which is a strict upgrade.
I don't know. I mean, Lucy is pretty great, but you are also pretty great, Moo.
Aww.
Oh no, I know.
Flattery will get you.
Are we wearing matching t-shirts, Alex? That's the important
Aww.
question. Yeah!
It's mine. Oh, no. Can't.
John, do we have merch yet? Can we plug that yet? Is that a thing we can do? Oh, the tech god has disappeared. Fine.
Tech has to unmute twice to be able to speak. Double insurance. We do not have it set up yet, but hopefully in the coming months it will all be sorted out.
Oh, whilst you're here, Tech, do you want to plug the Gendermaker part of the Assembled Adventurers website?
Ah, yes. If you were to go to www.assembledadventurers.org, now at the top of the website, you'll see that there's a Gendermaker tab where you can find out more about Gendered Intelligence, the charity we are fundraising for, find out more about the characters, and also have a handy dandy link to the donation page where you can really ruin the party's day.
More than we do already.
What? You could not do that.
Oh, that's really
I'm sorry, did Tech reveal which side they're on? I'm neutral.
You'll
We know
I'm
you're
capable of ruining my own rules. Thank you very much.
we know you're neutral, Tech. It's Daniel that's the force of evil in Assembled Adventurers.
go now.
Out of interest, I don't actually have the stream up, obviously, because I have Discord and Roll20. Is anyone actually watching this?
Yeah. We've got a couple of people watching.
We do.
What?
And also, after the stream, you'll be able to then see and read a recording of all of this again on YouTube.
I for one am looking forward to the VOD version of. Is anyone actually watching this?
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Reprise that 20 episodes later going, is anyone still watching this?
I'll make a note.
And with that, Tech returns the shadows. Ooh.
I forgot what my pronoun was on the screen tag. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He/Imbo. Perfect.
You know the trope you're playing.
I do. I do.
So we're waiting for DM Ed to start up again then, or?
So you find yourselves taken over by the mists of Barovia.
No. No.
Not again, you can't make me go back.
That's right. Hard swerve into Curse of Strahd. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, go for it.
Then Gore suddenly switches to loading a shotgun to kill some vampires.
They're already dead.
I have seen a brilliant pitch for a Curse of Strahd campaign, which is every single member of the party in character has been through the Curse of Strahd adventure before.
Wow.
I love that.
So they arrive
Yeah,
back in
they're
Barovia
good.
and go like, "Oh god, not again!"
Just imagine, like, the first second they turn up, start walking down, they see the death house, and they're like, nope, just nope. And just keep walking.
Just burn it down. Hey, oh, ladies and gentlemen, variations thereupon. Are we all back and ready? And there's a dog.
This is Bernie. Say hello, Bernie.
Hi, Bernie.
Sorry, I've distracted everybody with the dog. Dog. Off you go.
It's fine.
What you've done, we now tag a dog in our YouTube post. We've now increased the number of viewers by like 10,000 people.
If my other dog shows up, I'll also wave her in front of the camera.
We're going for engagement here.
We'll never engage with D&D Doggo hashtag.
Okay, and the cameras have fixed themselves, which is wonderful. So we will settle back into to our adventure. So after a minute or two of silence, Oleg eventually lifts up the bar that's holding the door closed and gingerly opens it up and looks out. And then seeing that you're here and here and safe, breathes a sigh of relief and opens up the door.
Nothing's on fire anymore.
Right. So, shall we? And Alina just goes to like put the two bandits next to each other and sits opposite them. It's like, so anyway, as I was saying about how this is going to be a nice, polite negotiation.
So at this point, Haps is back awake again after receiving some incidental healing. He looks over at you and states pretty plainly, "If you don't kill me, Cressel will. And if Cressel doesn't kill me, Brevoy will."
Okay, that's, you got some good points there. My real question is, how scared are you of Cressel?
Oh, when she finds out what's happened to her, she's gonna kill all of you.
Okay, that might happen.
She's going to try.
And if she doesn't, the Lord definitely will.
Which
You know how
Lord?
many people have challenged him for his throne? Because it's a
Oh,
lot.
I don't want his throne. I want his head. There's money on that.
Yeah, you and 24 other heroes.
Hero is a strong word.
I don't like being called that.
I like it. You can keep calling me that. I don't know how accurate it is, but I'll take it.
I think I have to do something heroic first before it works for me.
We did prevent an assassination. Okay, oh no.
And we only set the house on fire a little bit. Like 2 rooms max.
Anyway, back to the point at hand. So you're absolutely shit scared of Cressel, and more scared of the Stag Lord. They're more involved. They're less involved, and you don't really see them that much.
Abs keeps a flat face.
So you're absolutely convinced you're going to die. Mean, I can't let you go. That's definitely not going to happen. And I think it's fairly obvious to say, because if I let you go, you're probably just going to go to Gressel, tell her how colossally you fucked up in claiming a very, very easy tax, and probably get punished in some way. How about this? Do you want a job?
There's a moment of surprise at first, and then the greed sets in.
I mean, to be fair, there's 2 of them and we only need 1 of them, Alina.
True.
This one's bigger.
But that one might be better work ethic.
Are you proposing that
Smarter.
they are going to have tryouts?
I think they should maybe settle it between themselves if they really want to.
Let's just. I'm happy enough for 2 at the moment, I think. After all, you do need. You can cover multiple bases. It's fine. But yeah, no. Employment. To act as, what's the correct way of putting it? Scouts, rangers, aren't they? Guides. Guides works. To these lands. if you, here's what we'll say: if you tell us where Cressel's camp is, and you let us loose, one or two things will happen. Either we don't come back, at which point, no hair off your back, really. You're gonna die anyway. Or we do come back, and I give you some money. And your life. Crucially, the second part.
Got a map? Okay, so I'm going to shift you over to the map. And something to mark it with.
I don't have that. Does someone have a piece of charcoal or something? Looks at the smart people.
Gore, did your mum pack anything like charcoal?
Gore will look in his bag.
Core brings out a biro. We're like, what?
A full calligraphy set.
I mean, I'm assuming I would have writing implements since I'm spellbook based in the same way that a wizard is, but I don't actually have a pencil in my shoot.
So Gore, because I got his pack, pulls out a bear trap, pulls out an iron pot, pulls out some rope, pulls out some torches, pulls out a blanket, some flint and steel, pulls out some soap,
Sandwiches.
pulls out a tray of cake, and then shakes his pack. Go, no writing implements, and starts putting everything back in again. He keeps. He's suspicious he's going to need a shower after this.
I will assume that someone has some kind of writing implement. At which point,
So we are next to a doused fire pit.
Yeah.
Also true.
We are in a trading post.
Also true. Perhaps with his hands tied together, we'll awkwardly draw a circle on the map. Says that's Cressel's camp on that crossing.
Cressel's camped on the crossing? Okay.
Camped on a bridge? That doesn't sound comfy.
Nah, just next to it. Means we can get either side easily. And then
Crucially, which side of the bridge are they camped on?
this side.
Okay.
Taps on the eastern side, the side that you're on, and then draws a second circle and says Staglot somewhere around there.
Okay.
That's a fair amount of space to be in.
Yeah, I mean, once you're in the area, you can't miss it. It's just, I haven't been. Staglot's not very friendly to visitors. You get me. He works for his lieutenants.
Well, how many lieutenants does he have?
I don't know, 5 maybe.
And each of them have a band about the same size as yours?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Got maybe 4 dozen people.
Okay.
How many people would you say are with Cressel at the minute?
Not counting the lads you killed. Probably about 10 now.
Okay, that's doable. And when would they expect you back?
He looks up at the sky and says, tomorrow. It's about a day's ride there, so.
But it's only 30 feet. I mean,
And what are they likely to do if you don't come back in a hurry? Send more people this way?
Yeah, they'll. If I know Cressel, she'll figure that I finally grew a spine, and I'll burn this place down. Did that to some other guy when he started getting uppity. So, night raids, alchemist fire, the whole deal.
Right. Well, I hope you appreciate we're going to keep you tied up for a couple of days.
Yeah, that figures.
So, group assembled people. How do we want to tackle this? Do we want to go after them on their base and try and catch them unawares, or do we want to try and catch them out when they're traveling here, or do we want to try and fight them whilst they're trying to set fire to this place?
Do we have a layout? Well, I'll ask the higher person. Do you have a rough layout of the camp?
Yeah, let me think. So he takes like a blank section of the map and draws like a very basic, very basic looking diagram. He says, all right, so actual campsites on the eastern bank over here. Watchtowers both sides of the river. Those are going to be manned all times. Cress will stick with our lads, but a lot of them range out for hunting and stuff. So, could run into them on the way.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I know what I would do, but my plan's probably a bit too simple. We've got some.
Mara just sort of takes a pause, points at the map, and goes, "What's the turnip?"
I think it's more of a radish.
It's a radish. Don't ask questions.
Oh, that's a patch of moon radishes. Kobolds love them.
Oh,
Can make them into stew, I think.
The kobolds or the...
Kobolds don't taste guys. They're quite stringy.
Depends how hungry you are.
Sort of look at the stew I had earlier and go,
Kobold stew. That's a very distinct flavour. My suggestion would be we've got 2 of the horses. We number about the same number of people who came here. We get some. How would you take the boxes away? Were you just gonna hitch up a sled and just drag them away?
He gestures at the cart.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we just pile on some empty boxes, hide the requisite number of people on the cart, and then we walk back, hoods up, and make it look like you guys returning. And then they come down to see who we are, and then we ask them very politely to stand down. Rinse and repeat.
Cool.
that's actually a very good plan. Except maybe the last bit.
I like your optimism.
As much as I appreciate your optimism, Gore, when they outnumber us, they will definitely fight a lot harder.
I know. At this point, I think it's becoming a euphemism, isn't it?
But when we get to the point where there's like 3 of them left, then you can ask them very politely, and I'm sure some of them will agree.
Okay.
If you're meeting with Cressel, you need me there.
Why?
Because you come back without me, she'll know something's up.
Yeah, but I think we're trying to get as close as we can before she realizes that anyway, so...
Alright, your funeral.
Yeah, I don't think we get particularly close without Haps there, if I'm honest. But
The issue is if we attempt an attack on the camp, we are potentially facing them at their full number, with them having access to all of their own supplies.
I mean, but
And of
equally,
course-
if they were going to come here and burn down this stuff, we do have someone who likes burning things. And it's a very good distraction when all of your worldly possessions are on fire.
There is that.
So I have some ideas.
Oh no.
Consider, Mara points at Gore, even bigger, and then points at herself, even smaller.
Okay, one of those I understand. However, I'm not sure. Why would you big spot? Oh wait, we could mount you on someone. We could probably mount you on Gore
So much
already.
chaos.
Gore looks
Harry
incredibly
Potter.
uncomfortable with the suggestion of being mounted. Not happy. Not okay.
Hmm.
Have you ever tried to hit an even smaller halfling? It's like whack-a-mole, but worse.
Are you suggesting you shrink yourself somehow, Mara, and then get into the camp that way?
Yes.
Oh.
It's not the worst thing I've heard.
Bigger Gore is probably a better idea, isn't it?
It's a idea. How far away is the watchtowers from the edge of the camp?
They're either side of the river.
So probably the one close on the same side of the river as the camp. Pretty close.
Yeah. We don't really
Probably
want.
make that shot.
So one option is to. No, that's a terrible idea, Gore. Just don't suggest that idea. So there's a couple options we can do. We can wait for them to range out and try and ambush them. I have a rough idea about where they're going to go from. They will be on guard, but they won't have all the stuff. But they will all be together. We could just go and camp out in the wilderness for a day or two and pick as many people off as we can before doing a thing.
I like that idea. If we're in a position where we can minimize their numbers through small skirmishes.
The issue with that is who here is actually good at like survival and craft and like field craft in that manner.
I have some experience.
Okay.
I'm quite good at my mum. Not so much on the survival outdoorsman type stuff. She's much more angry than that. My dad, however, was quite the ranger in his day. It's a long story, but yes, I am reasonably good at all the outdoors. You should see me put together an A-frame. It's just like that. It's great.
In which case, like, if you're confident that you can, let's be honest, their territory, find them, and we can take them out relatively quickly, one by one, or at least like two or however many they send out hunting at once.
Another suggestion we could do is we could do our own ambush. If we have, let's say, a cart with some people and make it look like we are taking supplies to somewhere and make it look like an appetizing thing to loot, we can maybe draw a attacking group from the camp out because they won't send everyone, but they'll send enough, and that could be another way of doing it. It's much the muchness. It's either do we set up an ambush in the wilderness without a obvious target, or do we try and bring something to make it look like they want to attack it?
I think cooking them out actually is the better idea because we don't know where they're going to be. We could be sitting in an ambush for ages and not in the right spot.
Because if we go out with a small wagon, set up a campfire, and have maybe one person sit around the fire, and then have a couple of us further away hiding in such a manner to make an ambush, the fire will attract their attention. The other terrible idea, if you want a terrible idea, is we nip in through the marshes just north of the river, ford it, which is a terrible idea. Going in there is a terrible idea, but we ford the river, then go in through the other side.
I don't think that yields us that many benefits.
did say it was a terrible idea.
I don't do well in marshals. Most people go to waist. I go past head. I like breathing.
I think we just take a cart, put some boxes on it, pretend to be a caravan, and see how far we get.
Where are we caravanning to? Just in terms of this idea, is there anywhere directly south of here that people would go to? Bear in mind that this is a trade road.
We could make it look like we're going to the kobolds to try and barter for some radishes. They're quite good, apparently. I hate them, but they're quite good.
I think maybe we do that plan, but if we see people, we can pick them off. I think just keeping ourselves flexible in that regard is probably the best idea.
Sounds good.
Yeah, go for it.
So we plan a sort of route sort of like this. Don't get too close to that, it's a spider nest. Route sort of like this, we sort of come down this way and then see if we can get people's attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who lives in the house?
Oleg says at this point, "Oh, that's Buchan's place. He sells the potions."
Do not introduce Mara to him. Do not, please.
Meanie.
He's a
feel
bit,
it in my
you
head
know,
around
but-
you as it is.
I mean, you wait long enough, he'll stop by. He comes by every now and then.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we rest the rest of the day because I could do with a bit of a sleep. And then
I
tomorrow,
mean,
unless you really want to go right now.
It is the morning right now, I will tell you.
yeah,
It happened first thing.
dawn.
Okay.
How tired are people? How
I'm,
expended are your abilities?
I'm probably
Maybe
fine.
looking.
I'm probably
Maybe
fine.
looking.
I'm being brutally honest.
Give me an hour to brew some more mutagens, and then we're good to go.
Well, if we head off now, we can take a break for some form of lunch, and then we can get, roughly speaking, to where we want to be going within a period of time.
Well, each hex is 12 miles, right?
Yeah, so Haps has been quiet throughout the entire planning stage, but he has been reacting with his facial expressions on occasion.
How bad is our plan in terms of facial expression apps? Oh,
That's his face. Like okay.
this sure is a idea you have.
I mean, the other question to ask is how good is everyone's night vision? And then I'll ask Hobbs, how good are your guys' night vision?
Hmm. It's a couple of hours with us, I think. Most of us just rely on torches.
Okay.
Mine is not very good.
So providing it's not entirely pitch black, I can see about as far as a full-blooded elf would.
I can't see in the dark, so
I do happen to possess an ever-burning torch if anybody were to need it, but obviously that could potentially give away our position.
Once we start, I can just set them on fire, and then they'll be very easy to see. But until then, I won't actually be able to see what I'm throwing at, so bit of a gamble.
The pyromaniac Pipsqueak has a point.
Okay, or we could just take Hob along and put him in front.
Thought his name was Haps.
Perhaps, I don't know.
Are you suggesting we tie him to the front of the wagon like a figurehead, or
Something like that. But I also don't. You know what? I can't do planning. Gore's getting very frustrated. Let's just take what we need. We'll go range south, try and pick some off when they're hunting, and then we'll attack their camp at night with a lot of fire. How does that sound?
Honestly, I think that's probably the best.
Okay. We'll see you in a couple
Um,
of days, new indentured servant.
At this point, Elena's like, okay, before we go, and starts looting bodies.
Okay, so important question: Are you? I'm assuming you're also stripping Haps and the other living bandit of their equipment.
Yes, other than clothes and probably armor.
Okay.
Definitely pointy things.
So let's see. Haps has another bottle of alchemist fire on him.
And that goes to Mara.
Mara's immediately having it.
So his weapons are he's got a dagger and a composite longbow.
Ooh. Who is it? Just me and Gore who can use the composite longbow?
I
Probably.
can use one as well. But
Oh, you can all take turns.
I mean, depends on how much strength it needs to use it.
That's true.
So it's a +2 strength composite longbow. So
I definitely should not use it.
I can use it.
I can use it as well. How good is your deck score?
How do I put this?
If you were to give it a number,
Slips on the banana skin and falls down the flight of stairs.
No. You know how some people need to have a certain amount of like nimbleness to be able to like learn how to dodge properly or how to do other
Is it
dexterity?
exactly that?
It's exactly that.
Okay, so I'm probably the best to have the composite longbow then.
yeah, so that's Haps' equipment. He does have he's wearing a silver stag medallion and a coin pouch. He will gently, obviously not fighting you, but will offer a bit of resistance to you trying to take those. Saying, you are meant to be paying me, not robbing me.
He can keep his coins, but we're taking the medallion. I suspect that's important.
Yeah.
I want that back, you know.
Yeah, we all want a lot of things in life, don't we?
Is it actual silver?
Yes.
I understand why he wants it back.
There's also Oleg here who probably wants refunded for all the goods you stole off him over the years.
Yeah.
What's Haps's
So what's this problem?
what's Haps's armor like? Is it just sort of like leathers and things?
Standard leather, yeah. Each of the bandits, particularly the ones who are dead, so they have a so basic equipment of leather armor, a longbow, and a short sword. Each of them are carrying 2 days worth of trail rations and 10 gold each.
Should we give some of that gold to Oleg to refund him? Anybody? I mean, if nobody else objects to it, I'm going to give Oleg 10 of the gold.
I don't object. I technically owe him another 10 for the alchemy.
Oleg looks around and says, "Well, look, you guys you deserve a reward. So, give me a second. He heads into the storeroom, and then comes out a few seconds later, holding 3 potions in his hands and a pouch, and sets them all on the table. And says, "Yeah, this is my stock of potions. These two are healing. This one will give you some protection in a pinch. There
There's no
should be
point in me
50
taking
gold.
another healing post.
And,
Am I able to
anything you leave behind,
identify?
I'll take as stock.
Am I able to identify the protection potion?
Yeah. It's a potion of Shield of Faith.
Ooh.
Nice. Probably
Also-
not much better for me if I get face to face with a bad guy. Something has already gone very wrong.
Can everybody say what it roughly does? I'm
+2 deflection bonus to AC, I think, for
Yeah.
a period of time.
On a potion, I imagine it's something like a minute.
Probably something in that region, yes. Potion.
giving it to Gore to get him
Yes, it
into
will last
combat.
for a minute.
Give it to Gore so you can get into combat quicker.
Well, it won't necessarily get me to combat quicker. It just makes me a lot harder to hit when I'm doing
Yeah, that too.
the thing.
But at some point you have to get from outside of the fight into the fight as well.
That's true. And from the conversation we just had, I get a distinct impression that I will actually have to hurt these people. Okay.
Afraid so.
Oh, and if you guys are raging out, I've got some bounties if you're interested.
Sure.
Yeah.
Money's money.
Yeah, so let's see. The Sword Lord's posted one. Yeah, and he puts down one. You bring back 6 bandits, or proof of proof that you did it. Sword Lord's got 400 gold bounty out.
Okay.
I can count these 2 in if you want.
I think Haps might object a little bit if we sell him for bounty.
Oleg could not care less. You get the sense that only politeness stops him from stringing up both of them outside of the post.
Okay. All right. Well, should we get going then?
Can I make one attempt to see if I can find the horse that ran out of the building and see if it's got so far, realized it doesn't have a rider and just stopped? Because we could get a 3rd horse then if it's still about.
It'll be easy enough to follow the trail once you're out there. Yeah.
Okay. Oleg, can I grab some horse feed from the stables?
Yeah. If you just need a handful, knock yourself out.
Yeah. Go and grab a small sack full or something like that there just to. Because are we taking the 2 horses in the cart as well? Because we'll need to feed the horses when they're urged.
I think, yeah, probably. Otherwise, it will be. We want to be rested when we get there, so yeah.
Okay.
Probably a good idea to take all the rations these guys had on them as well, so we don't run the risk of having no food. I mean, I've got food. I've got food for a few days, but not anything I want to do. We want to be subsisting on for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oleg, are you okay with these 2 being put in the fort for a few days while we go and sort this out?
Yeah, I'll stick them in the stables.
Okay.
Make sure they don't starve at least.
Make sure they get a nice cold bucket bath every morning. Just go in, throw it over. Done.
This new guy's kind of cruel.
But just checking your map, gonna warn you. Horseback, that route will take you a day. If you're taking people on foot, probably gonna take you at least 2.
Well, if we're taking the cart, then we'll be able to get all of us in it.
Yeah, let's see. He starts basically doing some maths in his head and says,
So, failing that, we've got a few people in the cart, and if we get that third horse, we can have single outrider.
"Yeah, you'd probably take somewhere between like 6 and 8 hours, I would say, as long as you don't run into anything on the way."
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Me and horses,
yeah.
not so much. Dips and cart.
Right. Let's head out then.
Okay, so Oleg takes both of the people by the scruff of their necks and drags them into the stable. He starts offering some some protests, but Oleg is not. He's not built like a fighter, but he is strong.
Fucking strong.
And does say, "Look, if you need to grab anything, now's a good time."
Did we sort out that reward for saving the sword master's life? The weapon?
You haven't yet, no.
Okay.
Sort that out.
Okay. What options do we have? Is it a masterwork weapon? Is it?
Yeah, so it's a masterwork of basically any simple or martial weapon.
I don't know about you guys, but I vote we take an axe and put it on Gore.
Yeah.
Right. Solved. I'll have a masterwork axe. I will reluctantly hand over my current one and go, please keep hold of this. It's quite important to me. This is my everyday axe. This will be my war axe.
Who are you
I
handing it
put,
to?
I put your everyday axe in the cart, and I'm like, and it can stay here.
I can get Svet to take it back to your mum if you want.
No, it's okay. She'll get if you turn up unannounced with just my axe, she might assume the worst has happened. I don't want to scare her like that.
You know, we'll drop by one day. Yeah.
Also, if you tell her I'm going to take on an entire bandit camp, she'll either be extremely proud or she'll be extremely concerned. I'm not sure which.
Why not?
Are you sure you
I feel like
want me
this
to
is one
do
of-
it?
This is one of those situations where it's best to tell your parents after you've already successfully done the thing.
That was certainly the case with the spider incident.
Because you know I can be tactful if you want.
It's okay. Let's just leave. It's okay. It's okay. I'm sure we'll be fine. I'll take the great axe and let's go.
Okay, and as you pile up a series of empty boxes and then put yourselves in various levels of comfort on a horse-drawn carriage, we will close out the session from there.
Jen's probably instantly asleep.
Okay, so I will tally up various XP options for the various things that we've done. I will post those in the relevant Discord channel. So before we go, I just want to make people aware of kind of the immediate upcoming sessions. So the next session of Gendermaker is currently set for Saturday, the 14th of May, exactly the same time. If that changes, we'll make sure to let people know on our official channels. But before then, on May the 7th, we have we have a lovely game run by Sheridan, which I believe we mentioned in the lunch break, which should shape up to be a really nice one-shot adventure that we'll put out some more information on kind of as we go.
Alex,
Yes.
I'm very sorry that weekend.
Okay, so we will work out a date for session 2, and as soon as we've got that sort settled, we will set out things. But unless there is something else, we will close out the things from there. We'll sort out things behind the scenes, and hopefully we'll see people in chat back in May once we're back on for our next game. But until then, that's everything from Gendermaker.
Bye.
Bye.